tool is entirely new for me. I have heard about this Power BI tool in my organizations, and the couple of my team members and other managers that are using it. What I heard about Power BI is Power BI is I mean, this can be used for multiple purposes. Like one of my manager is using Power BI for presentation purpose also, and we can compile the data from different sources, different applications together all together, and then we can do the reporting kind of things. Uh, so I have learned, I have heard a lot about the Power BI. So since I'm new to this entire tool, uh, I mean, I would like to learn from the scratch, like I mean, the basic, and also would like to know about the logic, how we can build logic in Power BI tool to prepare reporting stuff. So that's what my objective is to come to this session.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Nagesh. I think I understood like what you're up to. So you want to learn more logics and how do you utilize the Power BI to the core so that it will be really helpful for your work environment. Good. I'll give my best. I'll give my best. All right. I'll share my knowledge, whatever the knowledge I have, and in case if you have any questions, we can still discuss over the same. Okay.
Okay.
Right. Let's go next. Anirudh.
Yeah, hi. My name is Anirudh Roy. Basically, I've been working as a senior project control manager in the UK Rail. Currently, I'm in the UK actually. So the my expectation is from this session, because though I'm having a project control manager, I know a bit of Power BI, but I need to know about the logic formula, DAX formula, and other things. But it should be in a from the basics actually, as Nagesh said, from the scratch. So that is my expectation, and I would be happy to make the dashboard and present to my management and client as well. So this is my motive. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Anirudh. Thank you so much. Next it's Suchitra. Suchitra, we are unable to hear you. It's absolutely nothing. Are you talking? Okay. We are unable to hear you. Okay. Can you do one thing? Okay, you can log off and then log in again. Okay, let me go to the next person, Ajinkya.
Yes, hi Shrikant. Good afternoon, everyone. So yeah, the expectation for me, again the same as Anirudh and Nagesh said, learning from the scratch. Okay. So
Mm-hmm.
however, in my current organization, I'm running the Power BI queries. Okay, based on the SQL. But what I'm doing, I'm just running the queries and reporting using for the further purposes. Okay. But to understand where the data is coming, that we understood. But how the reports are built, okay, so that I want to learn more.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously how they are uploading into the Power BI, and how we create a new dashboard on the ad hoc basis, or as per the management requirement. Okay, so that's a skill set I want to set up for me. And I'm due to that, I'm into the course. Okay, so
Okay.
I'm happy to go ahead. Yeah.
All right. I really like your name, Ajinkya. It's
Yes, thank
something a
you.
very Sanskrit name. Thank you. Sunil.
Uh, Hi, I am
Hi, Sunil.
Sunil. I'm a chartered accountant and heading a P&A part of finance in 5,000 crore company.
Mm-hmm.
And I do not have any exposure of Power BI till now. But in our organization, we are going to implement Power BI. So it
Mm-hmm.
is a requirement for me to learn.
Okay. So you wanna be ahead of them while this project is being implemented in your organization.
Yeah, actually, the clicks, we also have the click sense. So I do not have
Click
much
sense.
understand, but
Okay.
from the click sense, now we are going to shift to Power BI. So now I think that I should learn Power BI so that I can involve in it into it.
And that's good. That's good. No problem at all. Samir.
Yeah, it's Power BI is completely again a new tool for me, so wanted to learn from scratch. And I've seen a lot of good presentations people doing in Power BI, so I'm excited to learn a lot of new things from this.
Okay. All right. Hi, Suchitra. You're back again. I could see.
Yeah, I'm audible now.
Perfectly all right.
Yeah, I'm Sujitra Agarwal from Vishay Intertechnology. I
Mhm.
work in sustainability and global trade compliance as a manager. For me, the Power BMI is useful because I mostly report to all the VPs and the division heads. So the in the SharePoint dashboard or the mail dashboard, I require the Power BMI. So I'm
Okay.
looking forward to learn more.
Okay. That's cool. All right. Thank you so much. I think I have got the inputs from everyone. Um, So before we get into that, let me give you a bit of understanding about what is the Power BI. Since you guys are already having the flavor of the Power BI to understand, like, yes, this is a kind of a reporting tool, or you could say any visualization tool that, the definitions that you have from your own end. But sorry. So let me first walk you through what exactly is the Power BI and clear off a little bit of questions and uh, give a more clarification about it, and then probably we'll move on to the next topics, right? So let me share my screen and then give a go ahead on the session. All right, so I'm just maintaining my things, and the very first thing that I have for you on the session today is a presentation. Well, I'm just starting up directly from something. I mean, this is a very old slide. I haven't updated it, but yes, this is a training module, and then I'll teach different kinds of modules in this, like what is the Power BI tools and what are the different terminologies that we use, and how do you refresh data structures and everything, slicers, timeline slicers, sync slicers, okay, and analysis, RDBMS, DAX, mQuery, drill down, customized tool. So while we are looking at all this kind of topics, I'll try to cover up as much as we can, right? So let me start with this Power BI. Sorry. So to start with, so what is Power BI in the market, right? So the full form of it is like Power BI Business Intelligence Tool, right? Why we call it as a Power BI. So this business intelligence tool has been created. The main purpose of this tool is for the visualization. Okay, so reporting and the visualization put together, this is called a Power BI, right? So this is a mixture of Excel application and this is a mixture of a PowerPoint application as well. So the terms and the options that you see in Excel, you will find the same options on the Power BI, right? So this is what, since, let me put it this way. Let's say, for example, if you guys are really good at MS Excel, like doing writing formulas, like, take a instance like VLOOKUP, if, count, COUNTIF. These are different kinds of functions that we use in MS Excel. And I believe most of you guys, would have been using the same thing from very longer time and most familiar about this. So these kind of functions are also available onto the Power BI. Okay, so there you are going to see a spreadsheet. Here you are going to see the same thing in the form of a table. So that is what on the Power BI, but the functionalities or the other options that you see, like deletion of rows, inserting of rows, or deletion of columns or inserting of a column, all these kind of informations, right? All these options are available in the Power BI. Now, since, as said, if a person knows MS Excel and work extensively on the Excel for a quite longer time, I would say he can also work on the Power BI very easily, and it becomes little a kind of a cakewalk when you have a little bit of exposure about the options that you see on the Power BI, right? So this is where a simple structure of the Power BI, or I would say a definition, and that's one of the reason why Power BI is simply a powerful tool in the market, which has been evolving. Um, I think it's introduced somewhere around 2011, and so 2015, I guess. Yeah, and 2011, I think Tableau has been introduced, and then that has been a leading um, visualization software in the market for quite some time. And then once 2015, when the Power BI came into the market, it's a very um, a simple tool during the time, and then it started slowly evolving very slowly, and then now it beat out the market on the Tableau as well. So that's the because of the user friendly, as I said, like when you know Excel, it is much more easier. So this is how it is. But in case if you look at the Tableau, right, maybe although you find little bit of more options over there, sometimes you might see a little bit of difficulty in finding out of the options or writing some formulas or anything or performing tasks, right? So I would say this is where exactly the Power BI is coming into the picture. Uh, right, the first thing. So any application or any visualization tool. So let's talk only about the Power BI now. The visualization tool in this, when you are talking about this visualization tool, let's just remember one thing. Any tool has to work on some platform, right? So either it could be a C++, or whatever the language it is. So in Power BI, we use a language called mQuery language or DAX. So this is important. And this works on Power Query as a platform on the backend. Power Query is also one of the simplest application which is introduced in MS Excel um, since 2013, but that was a special add-in that needs to be added onto the 2013. And but 2016, it is something like within the Excel application it started. So within the Excel application, it has already been updated. Okay, so this is where it works on the Power Query. So your base point would be the Power Query, and once you finish the job over there, then the Power BI comes into the picture for tracking and implementing the visualizations. So I'll walk you through each and every step, so you will have a better understanding about what I'm talking. So let me talk about the Power BI, parts of the Power BI. What is a Power BI and how it works in. Just give me a minute. Right, sorry. So let's talk about parts of the Power BI. So when I say parts of the Power BI, what are the different kinds of parts available in the Power BI application? Let me see, is there, okay, we have some new guest. Okay, all right. So Power BI, the first thing is a desktop application, and we also have Power BI Pro Premium. Okay, but then the interesting factor here, what is it you're going to learn in the Power BI session? So you're going to learn more on the Power BI desktop version. Okay, so I'll be training you more on the Power BI desktop version. And once the Power BI desktop version is completed, then how do you take it forward, or how do you take your report forward to the Power BI report builder, or either it is online? Okay, so I would say it is a Power BI online. So in your organization, the reports or the dashboards that you're looking at, all these have been deployed under the Power BI online service. So the online service requires a account, and it only requires an organization account. So when I say organization account, you might have a Microsoft Office login credentials, but it doesn't mean that with the same Microsoft login credentials, a personal login credential, right? You cannot able to log into the Power BI online service. So it works only with the organization account. So just keep this in mind very clear. We'll talk about this at the end of the session once again. For now, just think about it. When you have an organization account, only then you are able to log into the Power BI online service. If you have a personal account, you will not be able to log in. And you're reporting everything, whatever the report that you're going to create, all this report is going to get created only on the Power BI desktop version. Okay. In a simple language to talk about, you created an Excel report. Okay. And you created that report in your local machine. So that is your desktop. And once you have created the report, now it's time for you to share the report with your other people or colleagues. So how do you share the report? What are the communications? Either it could be your email, or either you can deploy it in a shared drive where your colleagues and you are connected to together in a shared drive, or either it could be a SharePoint where it's an online platform where you can upload your file and then people will start looking at the report from the SharePoint, right? So this is how the same methodology. So since you create the report in the Power BI desktop, it is going to be deployed on your local machine. From there, you want to share the report, you can share the report through an email, or you can share the report through your Teams channel, or either you can create the report or upload the same report to a shared drive or a SharePoint. But apart from these, specifically, you can share the report. So you can publish your report on the Power BI online platform, and your friends and colleagues who are connected in the organization who have a valid account can able to go back and then look the report what you have published on the Power BI online service. So this is how a Power BI structure works and what are the different kinds of Power BI services. Now, let's talk about the workflow of the Power BI, how it works in, right? So any platform or any application that you're working, you need to be really very familiar about how it is going to work. So on a high level, if you look at this is going to be a very simple methodology where an external source, either it could be a standalone Excel application, like your local drive Excel files could be one, or either you can connect your Google Analytics or Google data or Salesforce data, or let's say you have an Oracle database and you can connect your Oracle database to the Power BI. Okay, so the input source could be anything. There are multiple sources where Power BI can able to connect. And once it is connected to the Power BI desktop application, the next step would be always do remember this point. Transforming and cleaning of the data will always should be done. And then the data model creation. And then you are going to create the visualization. And the final step will be your report. Okay, so these are the four essential points that you're going to work on. I see. Transforming cleaning should always happen, and then data model creation, you're going to create a data model, and then based on that you're going to create a visual, and the different visualizations are simply put into a single report which is called the report. So this is a simple workflow and where we are going to work on all these kind of steps. This slide talks about like how the Power BI desktop application looks like, and then again we can go into the detail when I take you to the desktop application and then walk you through. So I'll give you a bit of introduction about that again when I start working on the Power BI desktop application. So for now, let's talk about what are the main essential things on the desktop application we have. So there are three things on the Power BI desktop application where you see. One is called the report and the data and the model. Okay. So the model, as I told you on the previous step, the data model can be viewed in terms of a model method. In terms of a model, you can see like it's a table schema where you will see the tables are being deployed, and then it will also tell you what table talks to another table, how it is being connected. So all this methodology can be viewed in the model view. And on the data view, it is a platform where you can see all your data that has been updated, right? All your Excel, let's say whatever the data that you have loaded over there, either it could be an Excel or any database, Oracle database or SAP platform or anything. The data that you're pulling from an external source into the desktop application can be viewed on the data model. Okay. So it just looks like a spreadsheet, but it is in the form of a table, right? And then report. A report is a place where you are going to create your visualizations. This is a very, very important space where you're going to spend most of your time. And once your data model is being created, so this is a place where you're going to work more in terms of how do you create the visualizations. Then moving on to the next one. Again, this slide talks about in terms of like how the data sources can be connected, or what are the different methodologies or data sources that you have, which has been listed out. Like you can see, you can pull the data from an Excel, or you can pull the data from a PDF document as well. And you can again pull the data from an SQL server as well. So there are different kinds of databases you have, right? So this is just to explain how your data can be connected and from where your data can be connected. Yeah, basically, once you have created everything under the visualizations, this is the on the right hand side, you can see on the visualizations part, this is a place where you will see all the different kinds of visualizations. And these are additional visualizations which are not um, which will not appear in the visualization, but yes, you can still have access towards this. Sorry, you can still have access towards it, provided you have an organization account. If you don't have an organization account, these additional visuals that you are looking at here, right, these cannot be accessible. Okay, this is accessible only through an organization account. Okay, I love this slide more because this is a slide which gives you more understanding about the terms in the Power BI. The very first thing, so when I when I go around the table and understand from the people, like what do you know about the Power BI, and why you're taking a session, why you're attending the session. So most of you have told like, I saw my colleagues working on that, or my managers working on that, or my top management is using it, or at least I'm running out the queries, but I'm not sure how these are being built, right? So first, let's have a clear understanding about terminologies in Power BI. So in Excel application, whatever the charts you have created so far, let's say it could be a column chart, a bar chart, histogram, tree map, or any chart that you look at, right? So now in Power BI, we name the term chart as visualization. Okay. So basically you'll have column visualization. We'll say column visualization, bar visual, or you can say tree map visual, or you can say a heat map visual. So the terminology that we call it as visualization is nothing but the chart in Excel. Okay, so moving forward, we will be talking more about this. Of course, for ease of understanding, I'll try to say chart in Power BI, but in reality, the terminology that we use is called the visualization. That's the first thing. And the second part, like you see in Excel, there are multiple sheets, right? Multiple sheets can be created by having your data or pivot tables or pivot charts or anything. So the similar stuff, when you again compare with the Power BI, we call these sheets as pages. Okay. We don't call it as a sheet, but we call it as page. So in Power BI desktop, you can, the moment once you open it, you can create multiple pages, and within each one of the page you can create multiple visualizations, and all these pages with these multiple visualizations put together in a single report, in a single uh, yeah, it's called a report. Like how you create multiple sheets with pivot charts and data tables in Excel, and then save the whole entire thing in a single workbook. So there you say it's a workbook, and here we call it as a report. Okay, so it starts in this way: pages, visualization, and then report. So this report will be shared with everyone. Okay, like how you say, okay, I will share this Excel file. You are going to say, I'm going to share the Power BI report with you. Okay, so the terminology we call it as report. Now coming back to the dashboard, where everyone of you have mentioned about that, the dashboards I want to learn. Now let me make it clear about what is a dashboard in Power BI. Dashboard is nothing but again, let me come back to the Excel application where you see um, you might create multiple pivot charts and bring all the multiple pivot charts into one single sheet, and then arrange it, organize it in a creative method, and then showcase it as dashboard. This is what we call it in Excel, the terminology we are used to. But in Power BI, the terminology is little different. So as I told you, multiple reports can be created, right? So a report will have multiple pages and multiple visuals. So likewise, like I can create around 4 to 5 different reports, and all these reports are again brought onto the Power BI online service, like they're being published. And once they publish, each visualizations from any one of the report can be uh, pulled in as a tile and then keep it into a dashboard. So in a simple way to say, we are not literally creating a dashboard here, but we are going to pick one of the visualizations. We are going to pin the visualization to a new space, so that new space can have visualizations from different reports. Let's say, for example, you created 4 different reports and you have picked 8 visualizations from all the 4 reports, put it in a new space. That is what we call it as a dashboard in Power BI. Okay, there is nothing like something you are going to create from scratch and then do everything. No, all these comes from the report. So on a simple note to say, report is the main thing for you on the Power BI. And once the report is created, visuals from multiple reports can be pinned as a dashboard into one single dashboard on the Power BI. All right. So this is what the terminologies that we'll start using on the Power BI, and what I want to make it really clear about it.
Lakshmi, say again about this visualization part once again.
Visualization part. So
Yeah, yeah. That one point of visualization you were saying, that what actually I just missed it, that one. Can you say again?
okay, let me explain it.
Yeah.
See, in an Excel file, you will have multiple pages, and multiple pages will have multiple charts or databases, right? In
Yeah.
Power BI, what we say, instead of page, we say, sorry, instead of sheet, we call it as page. Each page can have multiple visualizations. So when I say visualization, the Excel, I mean, in Excel, the charts are called visuals in Power BI. In Power BI,
Okay.
we call it as visuals. Okay. So like you
Mm.
say column chart, we have column visual. Bar chart will say bar visual. Tree map will say tree map visual. Card
Mm.
visual. These are different visuals in the Power BI. Okay. So in
Okay.
a word to say, they are charts, but we don't call it as chart. They are called visuals.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah, got it.
Right. So multiple pages with multiple visualizations are saved in a single report. Okay. So likewise, you create multiple reports. So you can create 3 to 4 or 5 or 4 or 5 reports. All these reports can be published onto the Power BI online platform. So once you
Mm.
publish over there, okay, now how do you create a dashboard? So you're not going to literally create a dashboard. You're going to create a space on the Power BI and then go to each one of the report, pick whatever the visual that you like, and then pin them. Okay, pin these visualizations to that new space. Okay, like how
Mhm.
you have a you have a normal a, visual board on the um, in the office, where you
Yeah,
go and stick the sticky pads over there, right?
yeah, I got it. I got it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm.
you can think in the same way, though.
Correct.
Like how you put the sticky notes over there, you're going to put all these visuals from different reports into a new space, and then that is what we call it as Power BI dashboard.
Mm, yeah, got it. So that means
Okay,
we are not generating from the scratch. Just we have to pin from the our like data.
report from the
Yeah.
report on.
Report. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, this is talking about the dashboard clearly, only on the
Correct.
dashboard. Okay,
Yeah. Yeah. Got it.
reports you are going to create from the scratch, but the
Correct.
dashboard is something like you're just going to pin those visuals. That's all.
Yeah. Yeah. Understand. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. All right, so moving on to the next slide, this is between the comparison between the Power BI desktop and the Power BI online service. This is essential to understand. So um, that's one of the reason where I have just put it in a kind of a Venn diagram. So you can see on the left hand side, this is on the Power BI desktop, what you can do. So you can create or you can connect to multiple data sources on the Power BI service. Sorry, on the desktop than compared to the Power BI service. you can create a multiple data sources. So on the Power BI service, it is going to be a kind of an online connection. So like MySQL or SAP or Google Analytics, anything can be connected from the Power BI services. That's the limited. But you cannot connect like the PDF or Excel or anything through the Power BI service. It is possible only with the desktop. So that's why we have many data sources on the desktop. And then transforming, shaping and modeling, all these will be done on the Power BI desktop. So interesting part, what you can learn or you can buy from this particular slide. Most of the controllings. Okay, let's say for example, I would like to um, I would like to create a row level security. Okay, row level security in the sense when I load around 50 rows of data or 50 lines of data in Power BI. Now I don't want all this data to be shown to each one of the individual where I'm going to share the report. Okay, only 5 set of people will see around 10 different rows. Another 5 set of the people should see another 20 rows of the data. Another 5 set should only see another 10 rows of data. So this kind of level of security control can be done on the Power BI desktop. However, you're going to create methodology on the desktop, but the system to work or to implement this that will go only on the Power BI online service, which means you are creating the security in the desktop application and deploying it on the service so that in the service, when the report is being shared with the people, the restrictions are going to work only on the Power BI online service. Can anyone tell me like why this methodology is like this? Don't think too heavy. Use a little bit of common sense and then just think over. You're going to create a security in the desktop, but it will not work on the desktop. It only works on the online service. Why?
Maybe the leakage of data or somewhere, or maybe we can't modify with the data or reports.
Well, desktop doesn't allow us to share the report.
No, not that way. Any other try? Maybe the way you might have told me. I think you know the answer on the background, but probably when you're shooting it out, probably didn't come in a proper way. But it's a simple thing. You're creating the report on the desktop, and then you're creating a row level security, and the row level security will not work on the desktop application, but it works on the service application. Like how?
In service application, we can modify, or that's the reason, or I don't know.
Service. Okay. Okay. Kind
Or
of.
yeah, maybe we can edit on this and service, because I think service application would be the, I think, pro version or something, because desktop version we can't do the with the desktop version with the modifying anything.
Okay. All right. So let me keep it in a simple way. I'll give you a simple example. Let me know about this. You have created an Excel file in your desktop or a laptop. Okay. Now you created a security over there. For example, I will not have access to your laptop or a desktop, isn't it?
Yeah.
Only when you deploy this to a common place where you and me can able to connect. It could be anything, share drive, SharePoint, anything. Only then the security will be applied because I will have access to the source where you have deployed it and you also have then access to that source, correct?
Yes.
That's the technique here. You're creating the report on your desktop or your laptop and you're creating the row level security for within your data. So obviously it will not work. It will only work when it has been deployed onto the service application where you and me are able to do it.
That means you're telling that it is a server kind of things that multiple like user
It's a
can use.
server. Yes,
Yeah. Okay.
it's a server. Okay.
Yeah.
When you're deploying it in the server, it works for everyone.
Correct. Yeah.
All right. So in most of the slides, I have mentioned one statement. Probably, if you would have read this, Power BI desktop application is updated and released every month. Only most recent version of the Power BI desktop is supported. Okay, this is a little bit important to understand. See, whenever you open the Power BI report, let's say, for example, on June 4th, you have created a Power BI report.
Mm-hmm.
One minute. Yeah. So on June 4th, when you created a report and you have shared your report with your top management. So their report is completed, published, everything is fine. Absolutely okay. Now, after 6 months or 7 months, you want to come back to the report and then you want to rework on the report. By the time, your Power BI desktop could have been on a higher version. Okay, because there could have been a version release would have happened and it works on a higher end. Well, that's the first thing. Now your report which is created on June 4th will that work or open on the higher end. Now during that time it will ask you that the Power BI desktop is already been upgraded, so it will force you to upgrade it, and once you upgrade it, okay, your report will automatically open. But let's say, for example, you are creating, okay, you received a report from someone who whose Power BI desktop version is a lower version and you have received it in higher version will be working. But your higher version of the software of the report that you are working, if you share it with your other colleague who is using the lowest version, he cannot able to open the report unless he upgrades his application. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
All right. So I think what I would say, this is all on the slides I have. So I'll just stop it here and let me go around the table. Do anyone have any questions so far?
Lakshmi, are you going to learn also Power Apps in this session?
No, Power Apps I'm not going to cover in this session.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So I hope no one have any questions so far.
No, I think.
Okay, Suchitra is typing something. Do we need to install the Power BI desktop? Yes, Suchitra, you need to install the Power BI desktop. I believe Prabhas, while he have shared this
Yeah.
content and everything, he would have given a link from where you can download the Power BI desktop application as well.
Shrikant, I just request you to check with her, Suchitra, whether you have already got Power BI service already loaded. So just check it out once.
No, I think I have questioned everyone in the beginning of the session, like, do everyone have got the materials and everything?
Okay, okay. Now, why I'm just checking with Suchitra because she's already working with that, and if she's having already the Power BI service working in the office laptop, must be there.
Okay, she said data sets received. Then
Suchitra, in
is
the
the Power BI desktop? Yeah.
same email, we have set also a link where to download Power BI. In WhatsApp group also, we have shared a link where to download the Power BI. All right.
Yes, Anirudh.
Now, Lakshmi, actually, I have already Power BI downloaded in my system, so I have not downloaded through the link that Pravas has sent. Is it
No,
fine?
that's okay. Yeah, that's okay. But uh, you can check. You can check what is the latest version.
How do I check this one?
Okay, I'll show you that. You're able to see my screen, right?
Yeah.
Okay, once you open the Power BI desktop application, you can go to the help, and
Mm-hmm.
here you will have an option where about. So
Okay.
this will tell you which is the latest
Okay.
version.
Okay. I will tell you. The version.
This is May
Two.
2023. What I'm showing you on the screen is.
No, mine was is April 2023.
That's okay. That's fine.
That's right.
Absolutely okay.
Okay. Okay. Okay. Thank you.
All right. Suchitra, if you doesn't have that installed, you can install it now. Okay. Oh, yours is August 2022. Okay. So then what you need to do is Ajinkya. Okay. You need to upgrade it now because it went through a lot of. By any chance, Ajinkya, do you see the Power BI desktop when you open the interface application? Does it show in yellow color? I would say here, or I would say here. Does it show in yellow color?
Let me check.
Okay. You can also check Samir. I believe it should be showing in yellow color.
Yeah, that's right. It's showing yellow color.
Okay. So if it is showing you in the yellow color, which means you are using the old version.
Hmm.
Okay. You need to upgrade it to the latest version.
Okay. I don't see like because it's an office Power BI, right? So I hope the login credential will be available, and then maybe it requires IT help, right? I don't know.
Ideally, it doesn't require. You can
Okay.
do it. You can give it try like this. The way what I show right now, you can give it try. Okay.
Okay.
All you need to do is, do you see the Microsoft Store symbol on your laptop?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay. If there is a Microsoft Store symbol, click on the Microsoft Store.
Yes.
So once you open the Microsoft Store, okay, there you need to go into the search apps and then search for Power BI here.
Actually, it's showing as Microsoft Store is blocked. So
Locked.
yes, locked, blocked,
Uh,
blocked.
oh,
So
it's blocked. Okay.
yes, yes,
Okay. Probably I think your company have restrictions over
yes.
there.
That's right.
Okay. So for others, if you can able to do it, you can also go to the store, click on the Power BI, and once you have the Power BI here, you will have an option here called Get. Okay. So once you click on that, it will automatically upgrade to the latest version. So from then on, you don't need to actually go and download the Power BI anytime. So whenever you want to access the Power BI, you can access the Power BI from the store so that it is always connected to the latest application. This is the way, a simple way how you can upgrade yourself to the latest version. Probably the others you can just cross verify how you can able to get this uploaded. Um, I mean, what you'll be missing a bit of options where you will see on the latest version, or I would also say the methodology. I mean, the way that you will see the application also little differs. But I'll help you out. That's not a big deal. We can still help you out to how do you find the options within that. Okay. All right. So let's get started. So first thing, let me go to the data set what we have given you. Okay. So on the data set what we have shared, so probably within the data set folder, you should see there are few Excel files here, correct? Like
Yes.
Africa, Asia. And do you also have the folder called images?
Yes. We have.
Okay, that's pretty cool. Well, so let me give you a background on the data set. So this data set has been got or derived from the Zomato store. Okay. The data belongs to the Zomato store where they are located in multiple cities and multiple suburban areas across the world. And we have collected a little bit of the information, like where they are located, what is the address, and what is the restaurant ID. And we also have the list of what are the different cuisines that they offer, and do they have an online delivery, or or pickup points and everything. So it has a lot of information which has been collected from different, um, I would say, different outlets across the world. And while the data has been pulled, the data has been segregated in each region, let's say each continent. So that's the reason we have the data in an Excel file. Now, what we are going to do here is we are going to see the methodology, how we are going to load this information onto the Power BI and then create some visualizations and then play around with the data. So this data, or the case study that we are going to see, is purely based upon the standalone Excel application. The reason why we are looking at that, so I would have taken you, or I would have walked you through the other data sources as well. Let's say, for example, an Oracle or SAP or any other online platform. Unfortunately, when I have to walk you through that particular source, you and me should have an a common connectivity towards that. Let's say if I talk about some Oracle, I should have a login credentials. You should also have a login credential. So ideally, it doesn't work because we are from different platforms and different, um, you know, um, right. So different backgrounds. So we might not have this common functionality. So the common functionality that we found is a standard on an Excel application wherein that starts with a kind of a basic source, right? So that's the reason why I have brought in all the Excel file. So this is the background on the data sets, what we are given you, and let's start working on that. So before we start, I'll open one of the file and then show you what is the data that we have got. Let me open one file, which is Africa. Ideally, you don't need to do anything. Just watch my screen. I'll tell you, and then you can work on that. So this is the data for Africa, where you can see the restaurant ID, country code, and then there is a city. What is the name of the restaurant? In which locality it is located, and what is the address, latitude and longitude data. And then there are different cuisines information. And as on particular date, what is the data, or when the data has been collected, or so this is what the information that we have got. So this, all these fields, what you see here, all these fields, what you see here, the columns, this is the same across all the different files. Okay, now let me talk about the case study here. This case study is applicable, what you're going to work on is applicable only in the scenario where you have got multiple Excel files with the same header in each of the file. Okay, in each of the file, if the header is the same, but the data, rows of data available will be differ from each one of the file, that doesn't matter, but the header information should be the same. Then we are going to use this kind of methodology, like a consolidated into one single file, and then we can play around with the data. Okay, so we'll see both the cases, and then you will have a better understanding today. So first thing, okay, let me request everyone to open the Power BI desktop application. Everyone, open the Power BI desktop application, and then give me a shout once you are ready with this.
Yeah, we have opened.
Okay, it's from Ajinkya. How about the others?
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay, good. So once you have opened the file, the very first step that you are going to do is, okay, this is what it is. All right. Okay, good. Suchitra, how about you? You're ready? Okay. Oh, okay. You're installing. Okay. Let's just wait for 2 more minutes. Okay, just keep it installing. I'll just be right back. Okay, good, Suchitra. Please open the please open the Power BI desktop application. Okay, good. So go to the Power BI desktop application, and the very first thing what you need to do is to give a Control S. Control S. Okay. So once you click on the Control S, which is save. Okay. If you follow my screen here, it says save as Power BI file, which is .pbix, like how you see the Excel files. So this is called the PBIX file. Now I would request everyone to go to the place where your data sets are being deployed. Go to the place where your data sets have been deployed. Like if you look at my system, I would say this is the Power BI desktop, and then in this place, okay, before the data set, don't save anything within the dataset folder. Don't save anything within the dataset folder. Okay. Save it outside the dataset folder and give the name as day one. Give the name as day one and press enter. So when you do this, um, yes, Nagesh, you're not able to hear me. Okay. How about others? You guys were able to hear me?
Yeah, yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. Okay. I see Nagesh is unable to hear, probably a connectivity issue from his end.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, good. All right. So if you successfully save the file, you should see the file name on the top as day one Power BI desktop. Okay. Day one Power BI desktop. This is what you should be able to see right now. So if I go back to my folder outside the data set, I should be able to see the day one file here. Now let's get on to the next step.
Hey, can you repeat these steps once again, because I was not able to hear, and I was just looking at other things.
Okay. So if you have opened the Power BI desktop, then do Control S, save the file, Control S.
Okay.
And once you click on the Control S, it will ask you for a path, right?
Right,
So before the data set, so if your data sets folder is here, don't save within the data set, but outside the data set folder, give the name as day one. Just give the name as day one and then press enter. So with that, you should see the day one Power BI file is your current Power BI file should be renamed as day one file.
yes, good.
So once you save the file, let me know.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. So let's start from here. Right. So look at my screen for a minute and then follow my commands, and then you'll execute the same thing. So let's talk about this. Now, throughout the session, Okay, throughout from now till the session gets completed, the 4 weeks later. Then till then, the command whatever I'm going to tell you should remain the same way. So which means when I say go to the home tab, okay, when I say go to the home tab, instead of you referring to my screen, what you can do, the moment once I say go to the home tab, so your attention should be on this particular line. Okay, your attention should be on this particular line, because these are called tab keys. Okay, these are called tabs. So when I say go to the modeling tab, so you'll go to the modeling tab like this, click on the modeling tab, so you'll click on the modeling tab. So when I say go to the home tab, so you'll click on the home tab. Okay, so I'll give you the command like go to the home tab, so your attention should be towards this. Second thing, under the home tab, when I say go to the data group, so you are going to see what is the group name here. These are called the group names. Okay, data, queries, insert, calculations, sensitivity, or clipboard. These are called the group names. So I will tell you the command this way. Go to the home tab. So you'll go to the home tab and go to the queries group. So you'll go to the queries group. And within that, if I say one of the option, let's say transform data, so you're going to see this particular option. Okay, so you need to follow this method throughout the session so that it is easy for you, rather than referring to my screen and then again going back to your screen and then doing it. You can listen to my command very clearly. So when I say go to the insert tab, you'll go to the insert tab, look for the power platform group, you look for the power platform group, and you will see a paginated report. You'll see like this. So let's start doing this method. Okay, go to the home tab and go to the queries group and look for the transform data option. Now, is it identified by everyone?
Yes.
Okay, that's good. So once you have the transform data, I would request you to click on the drop down of the transform data. So when you click on the drop down, you will see the same option, transform data as the first one, data source setting as the next one. Okay, but I would say you don't need to click on this drop down and click every time. A simple method. Okay, so remember this statement very clearly. When I say, how do you get into the Power Query of this Power BI? How do you go to the Power Query platform? Okay, because every time whenever you work on the Power BI desktop, you might have to go to the Power Query screen multiple times. So whenever I say go to the Power Query editor, your command should always be like this: home tab, queries group, click on the transform data. So now click on the transform data, everyone. And can you tell me what you see right now once you click on this?
Power query is facing.
Transform data, data source setting.
No, I say click on the transform data option directly. Click on the transform data option directly.
We can see Power Query Editor.
Very good. So you can see a Power Query editor like this on the screen, everyone. And there it says 0 queries. Of course, yes, we don't have any queries loaded now. So there are no queries here.
Right.
Okay. So whenever I say go to the Power Query, you always have to go to the home tab, look for the queries group and click on the transform data option. It will take you to the Power Query editor screen like this every time. Okay.
Okay.
Right. So this is the first step. Now the next step on this. Now again here the same thing. When I ask you to go to the, I'll tell you the command, go to the add column tab, you'll click on the add column tab and look for the from text group, you look for the from text group and then look for the command, whatever I say. So let's get started. Go to the home tab, go to the home tab, look on the new query group. Okay. Do you see an option called new source, everyone? Home tab, new query group, new source. Do you see this option?
Yes.
Okay. So click on the new source drop down. You should find the very first option as Excel workbook, everyone.
Right.
Click on the Excel workbook. When you click on the Excel workbook, it will ask you for the path. Okay, where is your Excel file? Now, I would request everyone, get onto the data sets, go to the data sets group and look for the Excel file Asia. Look for the Excel file Asia and then click on open. So once you click on open, you should see a new window appearing on your screen. Give me a confirmation. Do everyone see the navigator window
Yes.
once you click on the Excel Asia file?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Good. Right. So you might wonder, what does this navigator window tells me? So when you have selected the file Asia, within that Asia file, there is an sheet by name Zomato Asia. Okay. Inside the Asia file, there is a sheet name called Zomato Asia. So that name, the sheet name is appearing here. So which means if you select a Excel file, when you have multiple sheets within that Excel file, it will display all the multiple sheets. So this will allow you to understand from which sheet you need to pick the data from. Since this Asia file have only one particular sheet called Zomato Asia, it is going to show you the Zomato Asia. Now I request everyone to check this box here. Okay.
Okay.
Once you check this box, you should see the option OK command highlighted.
Yeah.
Right. So click on OK. So this will load the information onto the Power Query Editor screen like this.
Yes.
Hmm.
Okay. I don't see a message from Nagesh and Suchitra, but I still believe that you guys are following me.
Yes, yes, we are following.
Okay, good. All right. So this is called a Power Query Editor screen. So let's spend some time here understanding this particular window, and then it becomes much more easy for you to understand like how the options are going to work on the Power Query Editor. So the whole entire screen, what you are seeing, this is called the Power Query window. In Power Query window, what are the options that you are going to work on? On the left hand side, this is the query section. Okay. Left hand side is the query section where you are able to see the total number of queries that you are going to load. Let's say, for example, in future, we are going to add few more worksheets. Then each one of the worksheet will be adding as separate query. So you will see the total number of queries that we have loaded in this section. So, and the sheet names will appear here as a table. Okay. And towards your right hand side, this is query setting. And under the query setting, you will see the property, which is the same thing, the sheet name appearing here as a table name. Okay. And below that, you will also see the applied steps. Now, before we talk about the applied steps, let me talk about one more option. For example, if any one of you are unable to see this window, which is query setting, and you're able to see the window like this, which is query, and then right hand side, you're able to see the data, but you don't find the query setting. How do you activate the query setting? At any given point in time, when someone comes and asks you for a help, um, I'm unable to see the query setting. How do you do it? You need to go to the view tab, and under the layout group, you will see the very first option, query setting. You need to click on this query setting. So when you click on that, you will see the query settings back on your screen. Okay, Ajinkya says you are stuck. Where are you stuck, Ajinkya?
Yes, yes, Srikanth. So actually, when you say like import the Excel file, so the data which I saved, the data sets which are in zip file, right? So when I click that, so zip file got transferred into Power BI, and that got everything is blank. So,
Okay, I understand now what happened.
yeah.
Um, so you should not load the data directly from the zip file. Rather,
Yes.
first thing you need to extract the data from the zip file.
Yes, that's right.
You should have received it as a zip file, right? So
Yeah,
right
yeah.
click on the data sets and then you need to you will see an option called extract all.
Yes.
So
Okay.
click on the extract all, you will see a data sets folder again created outside
Yes.
separately.
Yes.
Now you go back to the Power BI screen and then go to the Power Query Editor and click on the new source, Excel workbook. Then browse for that Excel data set. This time, don't use the zip folder, use the other folder which is unzipped,
Yes. Yes. And we looked after Africa or Asia.
Asia.
Okay.
So once you load the Asia file, then you will see a navigator window. Check the Zomato Asia and then click on OK. That will load the data like this on your Power Query Editor screen.
Okay. So we have to click on load. Is it
No, not on load. Okay,
trans?
yeah. Okay, you need to click on the transform data first.
Okay.
Then the Power Query Editor screen will open.
Yes. Okay.
After the Power Query Editor screen, go to the Home tab. Under the
Mm.
new query group, you will see the new source drop down.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Click on the Excel workbook.
Okay.
Now browse for the Asia file from where you have unzipped the data.
Yes.
And once you select the file, you will see an option called Navigator window.
Right.
On the Navigator window, you will see the sheet name, which is Zomato Asia. Check the
Mm.
box, then click
Mm.
on OK.
Okay.
That will load the data onto the Power Query Editor screen like this.
Yes. Yes. I am
Now,
on it.
now,
Yeah.
now you should be able to see the screen like
Yes.
me,
Yeah. Yeah. Same. Same. Yeah. Thanks. Yeah.
right? Good. So we did see how the query settings can be closed and then reopened. So when I click on this close, the query settings are gone. So for again bringing the query settings back, go to the view tab and under the layout group, click on query settings. You'll see the query settings back. And under the query settings, now we are talking about the applied step. Now let me talk about this applied step in a simple way. How you can able to correlate. Do have you everyone heard about macros in Excel?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Um, okay, I'm not asking like, do you have a prior knowledge on that? But it is not required. But you know about the macros, right? So how does a macro, let's say, for example, if someone wants to create a simple macro, they want to record it. So you have an option in Excel where you can record the macro and do perform some steps in the Excel and then stop it. Once you do that, what happens on the back end, the code will be generated, like whatever the steps that you have performed, the code is generated. Similarly, in this particular Power Query Editor screen, whatever the steps you do will be recorded under the applied step. For example, if I want to delete some data here or filter some data, you will see the step applied on this particular page. In this space, you will see all the applied steps. Okay. And that is what the applied step is for. Now, let me give you again one more information, which is where you need to have a watch on when you open the data, when you load the files, you need to keep a watch on this. Any Excel file that you are loading from the Excel application into the Power Query Editor, you are going to see four default steps. By default steps, there will be four. What are the steps? The first one is your source. Source step will tell you from where you have loaded this information. So here you can see when I click on the source, you would see the data has been loaded from certain space. Okay, from this particular path. Second step, once you have loaded, it navigates to that place and then identify the data from that particular Excel file or from that particular sheet. That is what the second step navigation say. Then when it is navigated, you can identify that the data has been loaded as a table. However, on the top, it says column 1, 2, 3, 4. Although there is a header on your Excel file, it is still understanding that there is no header on the second step. Third step, it automatically identifies that, okay, there is a header here. So it automatically updated the header information as well. And remember the fourth step. The moment once the promoted header step is done in in Power BI, it is always followed by change type. Okay, what does this mean in? Let's say, for example, for a minute, I'm going to remove these two steps. Okay, for a minute, I'm going to remove these two steps. Now I could see on the second step navigation, I could see the data like this. Now I would like to keep this first row as the header. How do I do it? I'll go to the home tab. I'll go to the home tab under the transform group. Okay, under the transform group, I have the option called use first row as header. Okay, under the transform group, I have the option called use first row as a header. So when I click on this first row as a header, this will automatically update the step to the header. And you see, as I told you, the moment once the promoted header option is updated, you will see the change type step automatically followed.
Yes, you can see. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, is this a good sign or is this not a good sign? See, sometimes it is a good sign because what change type will actually do is it will try analyzing your data, and then it will automatically identify what kind of data you have loaded. What does that mean in? When I click on the promoted header step, you can see the window here. Each one of the each one of the column here, okay? Let's say the restaurant ID, this is in the number format. Country code is in the number format. City is in the text format. And address is in the text format. And if you observe on the third step, before the restaurant ID, there is something called ABC123, 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 correct?
Yes.
When I go to the change type step, you observe the same line. Instead of restaurant ID ABC123, it identified that it is a 123. What
Yes.
this meaning is, it identified that this data belongs to the number format and it is changing to the whole number. Similarly, the country code changed to the whole number. City is also changed to the text format. Got it?
Yeah.
So this change type step will automatically identify your data and convert your data into the particular format what it is already identified. But what I would so these are the four default steps that you will see whenever you are loading any Excel file. However, what I would say, remove the change type step for now. What if both alpha and numeric? So it will be treating as ABC123 only, which means it is a text format. It still identify that as ABC123. Right. So I request you to remove the change type step for this particular bit. And once you remove the change type, now you will see everything is set back to ABC123, ABC123. Okay. Now move towards to the right hand side little bit. Just move towards to the right hand side. Do you find a column anywhere? It says there is some, is there any column by name called test?
No.
Nothing. Okay. I need to remove it. Okay. I think it is an addition. Now, do everyone see there is a column here called as on, and there is a date format?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, very good. So
But it is
how?
not, but it is not as on actually. It is a date format only. It is showing 4/6/2020.
No, no. Before as on, what is that you see here in this corner?
Date format.
Now, what format it shows?
Date.
ABC 1 to 3.
No, no. Is it showing ABC123 before as on?
No, it. I can't see as on first of all, and it is a only date format. It is showing.
This is for Nagesh.
I am Anirudh. I am talking.
Oh, Anirudh.
Yeah.
Okay. You would like to share your screen, Anirudh? Let me take a
Sure.
look.
Sure. 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 Wait a moment.
Okay, Suchitra, why the change type created? Okay, the change type is created because automatically it's a by default method. The moment when you load any data, Power BI will automatically identify your data, what kind of data format it is, and update the date format accordingly. And that is what the step called change type.
Can we interfere and change the data type for one column?
Yes, that is what we are going to do it right now.
Okay, okay, okay. Sorry.
Just let me take a look at Anirudh's screen.
Just a second. Can you see my screen? Hello?
Yes, I'm able to see your screen.
Yeah, this one I'm showing. I'm taking
Because you have done some mistake here. I'll tell you what it is. You did this again steps again. You did a double step here. Do you could you please remove the last two steps, which is change type 1 and promoted header 1?
this one.
The last two steps. Yeah.
Okay.
Remove this step as well.
Mm-hmm. Ah, okay. Great.
Now you click on remove this change type again.
Yeah.
All right. So this is where we are right now. Follow from me. Okay. I mean follow from here. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Okay. Okay.
I'm sharing
Thank
my
you.
screen back. Yeah.
Mm.
All right. So now you could see the as on header here, and it says ABC123. Now on the ABC123, okay. Now what we need to do here in this case, when I want to change only this particular column, not the other columns, but only this particular column, I need to change the data type to the date format. Let's say, for example, how do I do it? When I click on the ABC123 here, when I click on ABC123, you should see the different kinds of formats are appearing here.
Yes.
It says decimal number, fixed decimal number. Now I would like to change this to the date format. So I'm gonna click on the date. This automatically changed the date format. And you can also see the change type step is automatically added. And that only highlights that it is only converting the date column, nothing else.
Yes.
And do you see a formula bar on the top? Anyone?
Excuse me, I'm
Yes,
not
Yes.
able to get that option.
you're not able to get that option, Sunil.
Yes.
Like, what do you see over there?
In A1 it is coming ABC 1, 2, 3. Should I click right mouse or just
No, no,
left?
just click on the ABC123.
Okay, ABC 1, 2, 3. Yes, I got it.
You'll see the options there, and you need to select the date option,
Okay, okay, got it. Thank you.
right? And do everyone see the formula bar on the top?
Yes.
Yes.
If
Yes.
anyone is not able to see the formula bar, how do you activate this again? For this, you need to go to the view tab. Under the view tab, under the layout group, you should see the formula bar is checked. Only then if you uncheck this, the formula bar will go off. If you check this, the formula bar will come up. Okay.
Like Excel.
Yes, like in Excel. Okay. So in this formula bar, you can see the change type step. It says as on is changed to the data type, which is date type. So whatever the step you do here, you can also see what exactly it is doing on the formula bar. This is for your understanding. All right. So are we good so far? Any questions?
No.
Okay to go.
All right. Now let's talk about this case. What else do we need to understand on this particular window before we move ahead and then load few more files? So when I move on to the left side of the data or right hand side of the data, whatever, the first thing, do you see in the left hand side corner? Okay, in the left hand side corner, do you see it says 10 columns and 999 plus rows?
Yes.
Yeah, we can see. Yeah.
So this indicates that the load data, the amount of the data that you have loaded from your Excel file, it will give you an indication how many total number of columns and how many total number of rows that you have filled in. Okay.
Mm.
So now you can see there are 10 columns and 999 plus rows. Probably what happens when people look at the data, they might not be able to understand the amount of the data that they are loading, and all these tiny things they ignore it because they might not be they don't understand the importance of it. But why do I touch base this is there is a reason behind looking at all these kind of options, because whenever you load the data, the first thing you'll understand, you are not sure how many total number of columns that you are loading, how many columns that you are going to add, what is the checkpoint. So all these checkpoints are really based on this particular data information. Now, why does it show 999 plus row? Any data set that you are loading, anything which is crossing more than 1000 rows, it will always give you this information 999 plus row. Okay, it will always tell you 999 plus row. Even if it is 1001 row, it will always say 999 plus.
Suppose the data is 10,000, then what will show?
If the data is only 1000, it will show 1000 row.
No, 10,000 plus.
10,000, anything, either it
Okay.
is 10,000 plus or 2000, 20,000,
Okay.
it
Got it.
will always show 999 plus.
Okay. Okay. Got it.
Now on the right hand side of it, do you see an option where it says column column proofing based on top 1000 rows? Do you see this?
Yes.
Where?
Column profiling based on top 1000 rows, just next to that,
Yeah, yeah.
right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so what does this indicate? This indicates, okay, your data, the total amount of the data that you have been loaded, okay, on your file, whatever be the total data that you have loaded. Let's say for example you load 10 rows of data, or you load 20,000 rows of data, or you load 1 lakh rows of data. Okay, it doesn't matter, it always show the top 1000 rows only, and whatever the steps you are doing, it will apply for the top 1000 row, but on the back end it will apply to your entire data set. But why it is doing this methodology? It does this methodology because Power Query, in order to work faster, the amount of the data that you are taking, it is sampling 1000, the first top 1000 row, and then apply whatever the step you are doing and do the same thing on the back end for the remaining data, but it is not showing on the screen. That's it.
Okay.
So
Got it.
do not panic that your entire data is missing. Just think that your data is sampled for 1000 row, and then it is working on the first top 1000 rows, and whatever the step you apply, it will apply it for the entire data set. Okay.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to have it this way. Lakshmi, I'm not comfortable this way. Can I see what the total rows of the data here? All you need to do is click on this. You will see an option called column profiling based on the entire data set. Okay. You have an option when you click on this, you will have an option where it says column profile based on top 1000 row, column profiling based on the entire data set.
Right.
But where do you find the difference? No, I'm saying these options are better, but where do I find the difference? That is what the question is. Now I'll tell you where how you will find it. Do you see this restaurant ID, country code, city, restaurant name and address as the header on the top?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Below the header, do you see there is a color?
Yeah.
What color is it?
Green.
Green. Green.
Yep. It's a teal color.
Right.
Anyways, or you can say green, but it's a teal color. Okay. So when I keep the mouse, when I hover the mouse on this particular color, teal color, do you see there is a data which shows 8849?
Yes.
Yes.
When I keep the mouse on this color, it should show you the statistics that there are 8,849 rows of the data, and it shows 100% valid. There are no errors and no empty rows. When you find the green color 100% for each one of the header, which means there is no break in your data, which means there are no empty cells or there is no empty row in this particular data set that you have loaded. It is giving you the validation here itself.
But Lakshmi, it is showing 1,000 actually.
Yeah, exactly. It shows 1,000. The reason because if
Mm,
you understand, I told you that the column profiling based on top 1,000 rows, this would have been
okay.
checked, correct?
Okay. Okay.
So
Yeah.
it is showing you 1,000.
Yeah.
Now, if you change this to entire data set, and again, it will automatically refresh and then show you the total rows of the data.
I didn't get you. Sorry. How do I change?
Okay, watch my screen for a minute.
Mm,
Do you see this option where it is circling here, highlighted?
correct. Correct. Yeah.
When I click on this, there is an option column profiling based on top 1,000 rows. This is
Yes.
by default. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And in this case, when I hover the mouse here, it shows 1,000 rows.
Correct. Yes.
Now, when I go to the same option here and then choose this, the second option based on the entire data set. And
Oh.
again, when I
Okay.
hover the mouse, it will show you the total number of the data.
Yeah. Correct. 8849. Yeah. You're right.
Got it?
Got it. Yeah. Got it. Got it. Yeah.
Yeah. This is the way if you want to see your 100% of your data, you need to choose this option as column profiling based on entire data set. And then you are going to hover the mouse here. That is when it will give you the statistics.
Yes.
Are we good so far, everyone?
Yeah.
Any questions from anyone? Okay, I don't see any hands being raised. Okay, yes from Samir, yes from Suchitra. Okay, that's good. Prabhas have a question. Okay, yes, Prabhas.
Yeah, Shrikant, there is only one concern of mine. I know it might be a silly question and it will be eye-opening for others also, because sometimes what it happens, our people, they, I mean, design so many formulas. Okay, like say,
Hmm.
take an example, VLOOKUP, HLOOKUP. Normally they do in the normal Excel files, and whenever the VLOOKUP doesn't have the lookup value matched, it returns with hash NA, right?
Yes.
And some people, they're not aware of that I need to go for if error and to handle this hash NA kind of error, and I can define with own text or output. Now, having said this, hash NA in any of the columns, is it going to create any problem, or my teal color will be highlighted to some different color, or something is going to happen?
Okay, good question. See, basically, when you perform a VLOOKUP formula within an Excel and there is a not applicable or there is an error over there. Okay. Now, when the data is loaded onto the Power BI screen, the data where it returned the formula, it will return the value. Okay. But for the places where there is error, like hash NA or hash name or anything, those places, the data will be loaded as a blank cell. And then when it is loaded back, on the teal color, it is going to show you a brown color symbol. Okay. That brown color will indicate that there are empty rows, not the error rows, but there are empty rows.
Perfect. Thanks.
Okay. Where when it will show error, when it will show error within the Excel file. For example, you have a date column. Okay. In your Excel file, in the date column, certain cell have another value. Let's say, for example, a text value. Instead of date, there is a text value. Now you loaded the Excel file and then on the change type, you have converted that particular column as date. Now the text cannot be converted to date. During that time, it will show it as error. And even on the error, it is going to show you the brown color. Those are the two scenarios where you will see the error as well as empty. Clear?
Thanks, Shrikant.
Yep.
Yes, yes.
Good. So far, if you are able to understand this topic here till on this window, the options that we have spoken, and if it is clear to everyone, then we are in a good shape. Now, what I would request everyone is do the same activity like on the same screen. Go to the home tab. Under the new query group, click on the new data source drop down and click on the Excel workbook. Now this time load the Africa file, click open. Same steps, okay, whatever you have done so far, same step. Just load the Africa data and the navigator window, okay, select the Zomato Africa and then click on OK. So now this should load the Africa data. So just do this activity and remove the change type, step and go to the last column and then convert the as on date to date format. Do this activity and let me know. Let me see, there is a question. Do it show which column we have an error? Yes, Suchitra, we will see that. We'll see if there is an error. I'll show you.
Lakshmi, when I when I uploaded this Excel file for Africa, so I can see this date format. It's already there before the as on. It should be a ABC, right?
No, it is because you will see because of the change type step. What I requested is to remove the change type step. Then you will see the as on date and then select only the as on and convert it to the date format.
Yeah, now I got it. Yeah. So automatically the change type comes when I uploaded this Excel sheet.
Yes, as I told you in the beginning, yeah, in between of the class, I was telling about that. Whenever you load any Excel data, there will be 4 default steps: source,
Yeah.
navigation, promoted header, and change type.
Okay.
Those are default.
Yeah.
Okay, did everyone load it? Okay, yes, from Ajinkya. Samir done. Okay. All right. So if you have successfully loaded, now can you guys quickly look and tell me the total number of columns and total number of rows available for the Africa data table?
$10.59.
Very good. That's good. So 10 columns and 59 rows. Now I'll give you 5 minutes more. Okay. I want you to load all the other 6 continents. So in the data table, okay, in the data table under the data sets. So you have the remaining continents here, which is we have loaded Asia and Africa. So left is Europe, NAM, Oceania, SAM. Load only these 4 Excel files, no other Excel file. Don't load any other thing. Only load these extra 4 Excel files here. Okay. Take 5 minutes of time. It shouldn't take much time for you guys to do it right now.
Yeah.
And give me a shout once you have done this. Same activity. Load the Europe file. Okay. And then once the file is loaded, you will see the 4 steps which are by default coming up. When first click on the navigator window, click on OK. And then you will see the 4 steps applied. Remove the last step, change type step, and then go to the extreme right hand side. Choose the as on date column and then change this to the data type. This is what you have to do for the remaining other 4 files. So once you do that, then we'll take a final count from everyone, like how the counts are looking at. There is no particular order that you need to follow. You can go randomly, that's fine, but load only the remaining 4.
Sam also, right? This is the last one is Sam.
Yes, last one is the SAM. So you should
Do
see
we,
total 6 continents.
yeah, but can we do it one by one, or can we select all together once and then we can load it? Is there any
No,
option to select?
right now you need to do one by one. I'll give you the other option as well, but you do one by one. So let this get kind of a practice how you load an Excel file, how you can do a changes.
Mhm.
It is done.
Very good.
Yeah.
Let's just wait for the others as well. Okay, most of you have done. Let's give one more minute. Okay, so everyone have done, I guess, right? Is there anyone left doing? Okay, good. So since I didn't hear it from anyone, I believe that everyone have completed this.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. So now if you go around the table again, okay, if you go around the table and then see for all the files that you have loaded, okay, just give me a shout, okay, drop me a message or raise your hand in case you don't see 10 columns in all the tables. Do you see any less or more columns in any one of the table? Each of the table should show you 10 columns with a different total number of rows. I'm not talking about the rows, only on the column side. Give me a shout in case
Yeah.
if you see any difference.
No, no,
Yes,
nothing difference.
10.
It's 10 for everyone, right?
Yeah.
Okay. If it is 10 for everyone, which means that all of you have done perfectly and everything have been loaded very perfect. Good. So now, which means that we have loaded all the files. Now let's talk about the next part. Okay. The first thing, as I told you, that since the data is been scattered and received from different continents across the world, so we have got all the files loaded onto the query editor, which is useful for us in order to go ahead and play around with the data. The first thing, also when you are doing the steps of loading the file, once you have successfully loaded, now let me tell you this way. How do you give a professional look to your data? First thing, how do you give a professional look? So when I say a professional look, okay, it depends on how organized your data is and how you are giving an data or file organized to the people. Now, how do you make this organized? Watch my screen for a minute on the watch my screen. So right now under the query section, you see 6 different queries: Zomato Asia, Africa, Europe, Oceania, NAM and SAM. Okay. As I told you, do not worry about the order, since that all you need to know is you need to have all the queries loaded. Now this, what we are going to do, I'm going to select all the files, all the queries here. Okay. I'm going to select all the queries by selecting one of the Asia, or let's say whatever the table, and I'm holding the shift key and then selecting the last table. So now do you see all the tables are selected here in the selection mode?
Yes. Yes.
Then right click on this and you'll see an option here called move to group. Okay. And on the drop down, click on the new group and give a name called continent and click OK. The moment you do this, what you are going to observe is there is a new group called continent with total 6 number of queries within that. Within the continent, you will see all the files moved into this particular group.
Yes.
Advantage of doing it this way is you're organizing and keeping your data so that if people look at your information, it will see what is your input, what is your output, and how you are organizing or how you have organized your data. Not only to the others, even for you, if you have to refer to this particular file after around few months later, you shouldn't think about like, okay, there are a lot of tables. How do I understand what is the input, what is the output, how did I bring this? Even you get sometimes confused about like how you have keep your data. But with this method, it will be easy for you to organize your data and do a quick look. Okay, this is what I have done, right?
Yes. Yes.
All right, that's good. Then the next step, since we have loaded all the files from here, we have got the data. But then now I am going to give you one more option. Since these are scattered tables, I want all these tables in one particular file. Okay, or let's say one particular table.
Means
Okay, I need to create a consolidated table with all these continents in that, a consolidated table. Okay,
Okay.
can we do this? Yes, the answer is 100% sure. Yes, we can do it. But my question is, think for a while. When I keep a consolidated data, in the consolidated table, how do I understand this set of data belongs to Asia, the remaining set belongs to Africa, remaining set belongs to
Correct.
uh,
Correct.
Europe? How do we do it?
Mm. We need to.
suppose there is a column for this, then can we track from there?
Sorry, come again.
Suppose we have added one column in
Hmm.
this data which we have uploaded, like
Hmm.
Asia, Europe, something like that. Can we track from there?
Yes, that's a good point. Uh, Now you remember someone have told me that you wanted to learn the logic. So your logics comes like this. When you doesn't have anything within the data, but you're going to do something extra information to identify the data for yourself. This is a simple logic. Yes, you're right. If I create a consolidated data, I don't know how the data belongs to which continent. So for that, if we add an extra column within the data to say, okay, this is Asia, this is Africa, then when you consolidate, everything comes to one single roof. Still, you can identify and segregate which data belongs to which continent. Correct?
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Now for that, what we need to do is we are going to modify the tables. So let's go one by one. Let's go to the Asia table. Double click on the Asia table. So you will go to the Asia table. Okay. And within the table, now I need to add one column with Asia loaded in that. Okay. So how do you do this? So we'll see how we are going to do it. Now, do you see an option? Okay, go to the add column tab on the top.
Yes.
Go to the
Right.
add column tab.
Yeah.
And within the add column tab, under the general group, there is an option called custom column. Everyone see this?
Yes.
Okay, click on the custom column.
Yeah.
Okay, now what you can observe here, two things. When you click on the custom column, you're doing the modification on the Zomato Asia table. So do you see the exclamatory symbol over there
Correct.
before Zomato Asia?
Yeah.
This indicates that right now, currently you're working on the Asia table.
Mm.
Okay. On the right, and you have an option here called custom column. Now you need to give the column name. What I do, I'm going to give a name called continent. Okay, right. So remember this step very carefully, everyone. Remember this step very carefully. Power BI is case sensitive, very, very case sensitive. When you say small letter, it will go with small letter. When you say capital letter, it will go with the capital letter, literally. Okay, very literally. So you need to be very careful about writing the column names, and you need to be careful about it. So what does that mean in? Now you will see that what I have done is I have given a column name called continent. And when I gave the continent, I gave C as a capital and then followed by the small letter like continent. Okay. Then under the column formula, I'm going to write Asia because the data belongs to Asia. So I open a double quote and then type Asia, A as in capital and then remaining in the small letters like this. Okay. And click OK. So when I click OK, now you should see there is a continent called Asia, which is added onto the table. And also now you will see there are 11 columns added onto the data set, because since we have added one new column, it became 11 columns.
Yes.
Everyone done till here?
Yeah.
Yes.
So we have added the before Asia. What do we have used the before Asia? We put something inverted comma something like.
No,
Right?
no, it's double quotes, double quote.
Okay, double quotes. Okay, got it.
Because anything which you're writing, any text you're writing within the formula should always be in the double quote. Other than numbers, anything, either it is a text or alphanumeric or anything, should always be in the double quote.
Okay.
All right. If you would have done this, now what I would say, you need to do the same thing for the remaining other tables as well, which means you will go to the Africa table, go to the add column under the general group, click on the custom column. And here I'm going to give the same column name, which is continent, which I gave in the Asia, exactly the same name, continent. And in the formula under, open the double quotes, and this time I'm going to give Africa. So always use the first word, first letter as capital followed by small letter. So do the same step in all the
Is there no?
columns. Sorry,
Is there any option to pick the last name?
is there any option to pick the last name?
Yeah, whatever the name I used in Asia. Suppose we have used some different name, and I want to put that name only. Can I choose from that?
Um, Sorry, do you mind to repeat that again?
Actually, in Asia,
Ah,
I put it, the name is content, right?
correct.
So I just want to pick that name for Africa also.
Okay, you want to copy and paste.
Yes.
You can double click on the, you can double click on this and then it will be in a copy mode. And then you can paste it.
Okay.
All right, I have done my bit.
Yeah, done it.
Okay. All right, if everyone have done this, okay, then we are in a good position right now. Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll do one thing. We'll take a short 10 minutes break and then we'll regroup again. And post that, what we are going to see is we will see how you can consolidate all these tables into one single table. And I will also teach you one of the checkpoint Like whenever you are doing certain step, you also need to have a checkpoint to understand, are you doing it correct, right? So this is the very first thing that comes to our mind. Am I doing it correct? Who is there to check? You don't need to rely on someone else. You can do it for yourself, the simple checkpoints. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll regroup again in 10 minutes.
Okay.
Sure.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Excuse me. Excuse me.
All right, I am back. Just drop me a message if everyone are back as well. All right, looks like everyone are back. So let's resume the session. I'm sharing my screen. Okay, now let's see. Um, if you have followed my instructions very clearly, and then you have added the continent column in each of the table, and everything is really perfect, then we'll see the checkpoints, and then we'll also see uh, how many of you have done it perfectly correct and perfectly not. Now, before we go ahead, let me ask you this question, everyone. See, we have added a continent column in each one of the table. Now, how many tables we have got in total right now?
Table.
How many? Okay, how many tables we have it right now on your left hand side, or queries?
Queries 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 table.
So we have got 6 tables, right?
Yeah, 6 tables.
Okay, 6 tables. And then how many columns we have now in each of the table?
11 columns.
11 columns. Very good. So far, everything is okay. Now, let me ask you this question. If there are 6 tables and 11 columns, now I need to create one consolidated table. When I create a consolidated table, how many total number of columns I should see over there?
66.
66.
66.
Yeah.
Any answers from any other one? Okay. Suchitra says it is 11 columns. Sorry, 11 columns. Samir say it is 11. So since we have got 6 tables and 11 columns, when I merge all these into one single table, obviously it will not go 66 columns. It will only be 11 columns. Because if you remember the topic I have told you about the data set, all the headers in the tables are common. When they are common in nature, obviously you should see 11 columns only, correct?
Yeah, right. Yes, you're right. So it will be merged actually. Okay, correct.
It will be, that's where we call it as consolidated,
Yeah,
correct?
yeah, yeah. Yeah,
So we are merging all this information into one single table, which means you'll only see 11 columns. This is your
yeah,
checkpoint. You understood?
correct. Yeah.
Right. So this is how you need to look back for your data and understand like how your checkpoints can be created. So this is your checkpoint. Now let's start consolidating the table and then see if everyone are having 11 columns or not. Now, how do we consolidate the table? As I told you, if you remember when you are working on this, when you are working on a certain table, you have observed a critical symbol or exclamatory symbol, which means that indicates that you are on the currently working on the table, right? But here, I don't want to disturb any of these tables, but want to create a new table altogether, a seventh table altogether with all this information. How? Go to the home tab on the top, go to the home tab, and
Yeah.
do you see an option called combine group? Home tab, combine group, there is an option called append queries. Do you see everyone?
Yes, yes.
Okay. When you click on the append query drop down, you should see an option called append query as new.
Yeah.
Okay. So once again, I repeat, home tab, combine group, append queries drop down, you will see append query as new. Okay, so click on the append query as new, everyone.
Okay. Yeah.
Do you see this window called append?
Yeah.
Okay, first checkpoint. Now you see append. Now, do you also see is there any exclamatory mark anywhere on any one of the table? Do anyone see this?
No.
Do anyone see the exclamatory mark before each of the table name? If you see, just raise your hand. If no, you're not able to see, then we are good. Okay, good. I could see that no one is seeing, which means you're following my steps properly. Then in this append table, what you are going to see right now is there is an option here called 2 tables or 3 tables. Since we have got 6 tables here, we are going to use the option called 3 or more tables. Okay.
Okay.
So click on the 3 or more tables option. You should see available tables and tables to append on the right hand side.
Yeah.
Under the tables to append, you can see any of the table name. Either it could be Asia or Africa, whatever the table name you could see, you will see here. You don't need to worry about it.
Okay.
Now, since I have got Asia here already appended ready, I'm going to select Africa, hold the shift key and click on the last one. So now I could see all the tables are selected and
Yeah.
then I click on add. So now all the tables are added to the right hand side, ready for append.
Correct.
Then click on OK. Now the moment once you click on OK, you should see there is a new table called append 1 which is added. And
Yes.
your first checkpoint, as I told you, it should say 11 columns. Do everyone see the 11 columns here?
But I can see 12 column.
Okay, let me hear the voice. Let me see who it is. So who is seeing 12 other than 11 columns? Is it Anirudh who said 12 columns?
Sorry, sir, I missed this class a little in the beginning, so I'm not able to go for append. I'll join a little late. Could you help something, please?
Okay. See, right now you have got 6 tables, correct? Now we
Yes,
need to
yes.
consolidate them. So for
Right, right,
consolidating what I have told, go to the home tab. So you are going to select one of the table. Let's say I have selected the Asia table.
right.
I'll go to the home tab.
Okay,
Under the combine group,
okay,
there is an option append query. Click on the
okay,
drop down of the append query.
okay.
You should see append query as new.
Where the append query is coming?
Click on the drop down of the append query.
No, in the home, right? I went to home.
Home tab, combine group.
Combined group is not coming.
You will see the combine group. Okay, are you
Group
on the
by
Power
split
Query editor
column,
screen?
group by combined group is not coming.
Next to the transform, there is a combine group. Okay, first thing, you know how do you identify the combined group?
No.
Group name. Okay, do
I
you
you
see
have
my screen,
selected one
please?
that you are going home. Home it is coming transform, right?
No, 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 no. Okay, you're not on the Power
Yes,
Query
it's a
screen.
combined. Yet it is coming combined append query, right? Append query is coming.
Click on the drop down of the append query.
Yes.
Click on append query as new. Append query as new. Do you see that option?
No, append query is coming. Merge query, append query. That's it.
Okay, my understanding is, are you on the Power Query editor screen? This is what my question. I believe you're not on the Power Query editor screen. You're on the Power BI screen.
Okay. So how should I go that? Home.
Okay. Could you please share your screen?
Yes.
Okay, you're on the query editor screen. Go to the home tab,
Okay.
look for the combine group, right? Click on the drop down of it, click on the append query drop down. No, no, no,
Okay.
no. You're clicking on the direct. No, no. You're clicking on this. No. Click on the combine append queries drop down. Click on the drop down of it. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Append queries as new.
Okay.
Okay. Now
Yes.
click on 3 or more tables. Right. Now you could see Asia is already selected. Now select Africa first. No, no, no. Select Africa and then go to the hold the shift key right. Click on the add. Click on OK. Now let me see how many columns you are. Okay, you have got 11 columns. So which means you are perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. So remaining other people who are already working on this, who already have created a new table, append query as new. So few of them have raised a concern that they have got 12 columns. Now,
No, no.
how many of you are able to figure it out?
Yeah, Lakshmi, actually, I got 12 column, but I have rectified. What happened actually?
You
In
would
the
have given a
Europe,
wrong name.
yeah, so in the Europe column, actually, the Zomato Europe, I have given a wrong name. Content, instead of putting content, I put it Europe actually. So now I rectified and now it comes 11 columns.
Perfect.
Yeah,
So this is
Correct.
what exactly I have told you. It is case sensitive, and these
correct.
are the
Yeah,
checkpoints
yeah,
that you can able
yeah,
to identify
yeah,
how you can able to see it.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, all right. Remaining everyone are able to get the 11 columns right.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Right. Is it Suchitra and Samir guys were able to do it? All right. Good. Right. So if you have done this correctly, then now what you have understood that you have, you know, how do you append the queries? How do you combine the data? Okay. Now, so far we are good on this. All right. Let me show you this. Now there is an append one table created. Okay. But this is an output. This is not an input. So how do you move this to an output group? A simple way, what you do, right click on the append one table and click on move to group, click on new group, and then give the name as output and click OK. Now this way you should see the append one table is automatically moved to a new group called output.
Yeah.
Right? This gives you an indication that you know the above or inputs and the below is an output. So which will give you a perfect indication without any confusion about your data.
Hmm.
So how do you rename this append one? If you want to rename this table, like let's say, for example, I want to give a consolidated name, right click over there, click on the rename and just type consolidated.
Yeah.
Every time auto save option will apply.
Okay, right now the autosave option will not be applied, but you can do that. What you can do for this right now, you can click on Control S.
Okay.
If you click on the Control S, you should see an option here
Right. Apply.
called Apply Later, correct?
Right.
Yes.
Click on Apply Later, everyone.
Okay.
So this will automatically save.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So which means right now we are in a good shape. Okay. Then as of now, what we have done is we have loaded all these three continents and then we have loaded the consolidated. Now
Right.
let's talk about how do we load the other Excel files, and then let's see what we are going to work on that. Now, can I ask everyone to just go back to the home tab, new query and new source, go to the Excel workbook, and then this time load the other three files which we have not loaded. Those are country master.
The country code.
Yeah, country code, currency converter, and fact table. These three Excel files we have not loaded. So load this country code.
Can I load as one shot or have
No, right now you cannot load them as a one because see, the reason why we are unable to do this on the first note, because those Excel files are different workbooks.
okay?
The data table is not the same. So that's the reason why we cannot able to load all this at one shot.
But where we have to load this continent like continent folder or output folder?
No, no, continent folder, because these are inputs, right? So you load on the continent folder only.
Sorry.
So load the country master and then click OK.
Okay.
And as I told you, remove the change type as well. Remove the change type. Don't use the change type. Remove the change type. So first load all the three files, then again we'll talk about this.
Okay.
These three files, what you're loading right now, they are like supporting files to the data that you are going to add. So that's why we are adding these three files. These are like additional data.
Yeah. That is done.
Is it done by everyone?
Yeah, it's done, but instead of for this output folders, I mean, I have added into continent folders. So, is there
No,
any options to do this?
oh, right. You see, right now I'm just dragging and dropping onto this box on the continent.
Okay, it's a drag down, right?
Drag and drop.
Okay.
Done, everyone?
Yeah.
All right, very good. So if it is completed, then let's move on to this topic now. Let's see, go to the country master. Let's go to the country master table.
Mm. Yeah.
Now, looking at the country master table, okay, on the right hand side, I believe that you guys have removed the change type as well. I'm not
Yes.
expecting anything here. Okay, 3 steps alone. Now, look at the table and tell me, do you find any other color indication other than the green color in this particular table?
Yes, brown.
Now, there is a brown color, correct?
Right. 95% is coming update.
Right. So if you hover the mouse, it says, okay, there are 95% which is valid data, but there are no errors, but there are empty rows.
Correct. Then we can see the null.
Yeah. Now you remember the topic that we have discussed, like how you can observe the if there are empty rows, how does it indicate? So we need to get rid of this empty rows. How do we get rid of the empty row? So watch my screen and then do the same thing on your screen later. Okay.
Okay. Just one question. Why the country master is coming when we have uploaded the file with different name? We have
Sorry.
uploaded a country code, but name is coming country master.
Yeah, because the Excel file, as I told you, remember the name here indicates the sheet name.
Okay. Okay. Got it.
Right. So if you go to the data set and open the country code file, so you see the sheet name is country master here.
Right.
Because of that, it is loading the sheet name because that is what the
Okay.
sheet we have loaded. All right. So what I'll do, I'm going to hover the mouse again on this particular color, okay, color band, and I see that there are empty rows. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just click on this remove empty. This is going to remove the empty rows. Now, do you see it is 100% green color?
Yes.
And also you can see now the status is 2 columns, 199 rows. Earlier it is 209. Now it is 199.
Yeah.
And if you observe the data again on the country code table, when you observe the data table here, you can see there are a lot of duplicates looking at this particular data.
Where?
In the country master, do you see that there are duplicates
Yes.
here?
Yeah,
Yes.
250.
94 Indonesia,
Yes.
the very first two.
Mhm.
Yes.
So how do you get rid of the duplicates? How do you get rid of the duplicates? Like in Excel, how do we get rid of the duplicates here? So for get rid of the to get rid of the duplicates, for what we need to do, first thing, do Control A. Control A. This will select both the tables. Now, do you see that both the entire table is selected and the top headers are also in green color? Let's say for your case, maybe Ajinkya and I think Samir or Sunil. For your case, it is in yellow color, so it will be in yellow color.
Yes.
Okay. So
No, actually, we still see green color. It-
you still see green.
yes.
Oh, good. No problem. That's okay. Ajinkya will see green, I guess. I think so. It is April 2023 something. Fine. Now that you have got both the tables, both the columns selected, okay, go to the home tab. Go to the home tab. Under the reduce rows group, there is an option called remove rows. So click on the drop down of the remove rows. You will see
I don't
certain
find.
options there.
Sorry. Reduce rows. Then.
Go to the home tab,
Mhm.
reduce rows group. Under the reduce rows group, the option is remove rows. Click on the drop down of the remove rows. You will see 5 more options over here.
Yeah.
Click on the remove duplicates option.
Okay. Yeah. Now it's better.
So when you click on the remove row, remove duplicates, now tell me what is the count?
15.
Okay.
There is a shortcut also. I mean, we can do a right click and then simply say remove duplicate.
Yes, you can do it, but if you look at that way, initially you're not able to identify where the options are, right? So that's the reason I'm teaching you this method.
Yeah.
You know, like in Excel, okay, these are long shortcut keys. Like, why do I say long shortcut key? Because these are like menu driven shortcut. I mean to say like these are menu driven shortcut. Like in Excel, you can also find it the same thing. click on Alt on your keyboard. Everyone, click on Alt on your keyboard. When you click on the Alt on the keyboard, do you see that there is an options here? H T A W activated.
Yes, yes, yes.
So click on H. Then again, you will see for the remove rows, you will see W. So there again, you will find that option remove duplicate. These are menu driven shortcut keys. Okay. All right.
Yes.
So do everyone have this count? 2 columns and 15 rows, everyone?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Can you please report? Which one you want me to repeat, Suchitra? Control. No, it's not control. It's Alt. These are menu driven shortcut key. It's Alt. Okay, click on the Alt, H, W. You will see the option remove duplicates. Okay, good. All right. So now, since you see the 2 columns and 15 rows, do you observe both the country code and country? They are like not in a simple, they are not in a proper order. Now I want to sort this information and then keep it in a proper order. Like you remember in Excel, we do a sorting. And I also believe that you also know the multi-level sorting in Excel.
Yes.
Right? So the multi-level sorting can be done in Power BI. Like let's say how we are going to do it. So let's go with the short driven keys like Alt. Okay, just click on
Alt.
the Alt and then now first thing before you do it. Okay, before you do this, now I need to sort first by country code and then I'll sort by country. So in order to sort by the country code, first thing I'm going to select the country code column alone, not the country, because if you select the entire table, the sorting option will not be highlighted. So only select the country code first. Select only one column, so which is country code. Okay. Then you click on Alt H S A.
Then H.
Alt H S A. Alt.
It's together.
No, one by one. Just one by one. Alt
Okay. Yeah, okay.
H
Huh?
S A. This is for sorting in descending order.
Now it's sorted. Yeah. Right.
Sorry, sorting in ascending order.
Yeah, sending already.
Alt H S D. This is for descending order. Have you ever thought that this will be so easy in Power BI that you can also go with the shortcut keys?
It's fantastic.
Right? It's actually so easy, right? Now you feel it is easy. You don't feel like so difficult.
Right.
Okay. Now, the moment once you have sorted this using Alt H S A, do you observe anything that has happened or any change that you observe on the country code?
Yes, it is.
Sorted.
Numerically, it is from 1 to. It is
Okay.
also sorted actually. Yeah.
Numerically, it is sorted. Good. Any
Yeah.
other changes that you have you observed it?
It is alphanumeric.
Alphanumeric. Okay. Anything else? As I told you, tiny things we might not observe, but that is very important to observe.
It is date it is
Count,
showing.
count wise, the country changed, right?
Count wise country changed is okay. That is fine. Anything?
No, date it is showing. Why it is showing date?
Where is it showing date? No, it's not date. This is
Oh, sorry, no,
table.
yeah, sorry, yeah, sorry, yeah, yeah. No.
Okay. Let me tell you. Do you observe that there is a arrow mark added onto this filter button?
Yes, 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 yes.
This
Just
indicates whenever you see any data, whenever you see any arrow mark like this indicates that this is in ascending order. It is sorted in ascending order,
yeah, yeah.
right? Okay. Now, how do we perform multi-sorting? How do we perform multi-sorting? Now that I have added the country code, now you are going to don't see any change. But again, let's see. I want to sort by country. So what could be the shortcut key for country for ascending order?
It is Alt H S A.
Good. So select the country column and then do Alt H S A. Now, do you observe any other change right now happen in the entire table? Take a look on the entire table. Now observe and tell me, do you see any other change here now?
Like change in the country doesn't change, but it's
Okay,
only gets sorted.
right.
No, but it is in the arrow. It's coming again.
Yeah, that's only the change.
Okay, arrow. Any other change other than this arrow? Do you observe anything on the entire table?
The numbers are added.
Yeah, numbers has already changed.
Good. Number is added. Do you see this? There is a one numeric added here, on the country code, a tiny one,
Yes, yes, yes. One is added. Yeah, number is added.
right?
Yeah,
Now
yeah,
you select the country code, you will see on the country, you will see numeric 2.
yeah. Correct. Numeric 2. Yeah.
Like if anyone would have given a thought like, okay, Lakshmi, you're doing a multi-sorting. How do I know what column is sorted first and what column is sorted next?
That's why. Oh, okay.
So this is where you can see the number indicates that, okay, country code is sorted first and then country is sorted, and they are sorted in ascending order. Got it?
Yeah, got it. Yeah.
Right. So this is how a multi-sorting will happen in Power BI. Okay. Right. Now let's go to see, as of now, whatever you have done, if you observe on the right hand side the applied step, you will also see the same thing. Source navigation promoted header ke baad, you are going to see the filtered rows, removed duplicates, and then sorted rows.
Yes.
Okay, let's go to the USD converter. In the USD converter, I don't see any changes that we have to do. We'll just keep it the same thing. And even on the KPI table, I don't have anything that I need to do here apart from removing the change type. Okay, but on the KPIs, go to the KPI table. Now on the KPI table, okay, wherever you see the number, okay, which means average cost for 2, correct? Select this column average cost for 2.
Okay.
Under the KPI table, average cost for 2, select the table, select this column. Okay, now let's
Yeah.
do it this way. Let me do it first. Alt H TT. Then I'm going to select a whole number. I'll
Alt.
give the command here. I'll give the command here. Alt H dt.
Double D, right?
No, no, dt. D for delta, T for tango.
Okay, dt. Okay, alt H D.
For changing the data type.
Correct. Okay. Alt H D.
So if you have done this, you will observe that average cost for 2 alone is changed into the numeric format.
No, it has not changed.
Okay, if you have not observed that, you will see the average cost for 2, it shares 1, 2, 3.
Average cost for two, say ABC 1 to 3.
Then which means you need to redo this again. Select this column, select the column, type Alt H dt, and then select the whole number within the drop down. When it is activated,
No,
select the whole
okay.
number.
That
Click
I have
OK.
not. Just a second. Okay. Select the
Whole number.
whole number. Okay. Yeah, now I got it. Yeah. Thank
Okay,
you.
let me tell you how you can use this menu driven shortcut. Okay. So for example, you see, I'm going to remove the change type. I'm going to redo this job. Just take a look. Usually what we do is we rely on the key mouse more. This is what we usually do, right? You see, what am I doing? I'm going to select this column and then, okay, Alt H dt. Then I'm using the down arrow. I'm using the down arrow to go to the whole number and press enter. Now you should see it got changed. Correct?
1 second, please.
Okay, I'll remove the change type. Now, do you see this is ABC 1, 2, 3?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. Alt H dt and then down arrow twice. It is selecting the whole number. Press
Correct.
enter. It automatically changed.
Yes. Okay.
Right? So this is the best way that I would suggest. You can actually do work on your keyboards more than using your mouse. Using the left arrow, you can toggle to any one of the column. Okay. Now, can I ask, please change in the KPI table, go to the last column, which is as on, change the data type to date using the same method, Alt H dt, and then down arrow, enter.
Alt H D T. Yeah, done. Yeah, done it.
Good.
Yeah.
Hope everyone are able to follow this method.
I think it is easiest way.
Yeah, both easiest way.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we are good so far. Now let's move on to the next topic. Now I'll give you 5 minutes time. Okay. Either you put it on the chat window or either you can unmute and talk to me. But what you need to do is you need to just give me an answer for the question that I'm going to ask you now. See, we have got the consolidated table, which is good. We have got 11 columns of the data, which is good. Now, if you go to the country master, what I want an answer from you guys is look at the country master and look at the consolidated. Okay. Now, using the country master table, okay, and in the consolidated table, you have got the country code. You have got the country code, but you didn't have any country names here. Anywhere in the table, consolidated table, you don't have the country name. You only have the continent name, no country name. But where do you find the country name? It is there in the country master. Now tell me, if this is the same method, like these are two different Excel files. What is the best way that you will do to bring the country code to, I mean, to bring the country name?
We will insert a column and we will add VLOOKUP.
Yeah.
VLOOKUP, correct?
Yeah, correct.
Yes.
Very good. So now you understood that the method is like we have got the country code and then country, and then we have got the consolidated. Now, what is common in between these two, or what is the common indicator?
Country code.
Country code.
Very good, country code. Now let's see, how do you perform the VLOOKUP in Power BI? Okay.
Okay.
Probably this is one of the best option that you guys like most, because VLOOKUP is something like, or one of the favorite formulas in Excel,
Yes.
because we
Yes.
use it very extensively.
Yes.
But in Power BI, it is much more easier, but there are some ground rules. Okay. Ground rules are very, very important. Now, where do I need to bring the country name? Which table I need to bring the country name?
Consolidated.
Consolidated.
Consolidated table.
Consolidated, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Right. So first select the country consolidated table. Okay. Because we need to bring the country name here. So we are going to select the consolidate table first. Okay. Then in Power BI, instead of saying VLOOKUP, what we say, the terminology that we use is called merge query.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
The terminology we use it is called merge query. So how do we perform the merge query? Let's do it this way. Alt H E.
E for elephant, right?
Yes, E for elephant. Alt H E. So do you see merge query, and merge query is new?
New, yeah, I got it. Yeah.
Okay, so we are going to use merge query, not merge query as new, because we don't want to create a new table. Within the table only we want to perform the merge query. So click on enter.
No, in the merge query you need to click.
Yes, on the merge query you need to click. So Alt H E. This is for merge query.
So we got a one dialog box which called merge.
Yes, this is how you need to see. You are able to see my screen, everyone?
Yes.
Good. Now, two things. As I told you, the checkpoint. Are you doing the right method? How do you check? The consolidated table should be with an exclamatory mark, so that this will indicate that you are currently working on the consolidated table.
Yeah.
And on the merge query, you should see on the top, the consolidated table is automatically shown.
Yeah.
Where do we need to bring the data from?
This country code, the country master.
Country master. So what we need to do, we are going to select the country master from the drop down below.
Join kind from there.
Yes. No, not join here. In this, in between, there is an drop down
Okay,
here,
okay.
which is empty,
Yeah,
correct?
got it. Yeah.
So once you click on that country in a drop down, you will see the country master. So on
Correct.
the top, it should always be the table where you need to do the merge, and below it should be the table from where you are going to bring the data from.
Okay.
So far understandable?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Then what is that common in between these two tables? You said
Country code.
Country code. So what you need to do is you need to select the country code on the top and select the country code below.
Okay. Yeah. Then okay.
Okay. So once you do it, once you select these two, do you see below there is a statement?
Yes.
What does that statement says?
The selection matches 9550 of 9550 rows from the first table.
Huh. One minute. Okay. So once you do this, just click on OK. When you click on OK, do you see that there is a new column added on the new column added on the consolidated table?
Yes.
The last table, which is called country master.
Yeah.
Like this.
Yeah.
Next to this, do you see there is a bidirectional arrow in the filter place?
Correct.
So click on the bidirectional arrow. It will expand whatever the columns are available on the country master table. It will give you all the column names.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Now, since what is there currently on the consolidated table?
This country code.
Country code is already there, correct? So we don't
Yeah.
need the country code. What is it
Country.
we require? We
We
require
need
the
country.
country.
Yeah.
So what we need to do is we are going to uncheck the country code and select the country. And below that, there is an option here called use original name as prefix, right?
Yes. Yes.
Uncheck this and click on OK.
Yeah. Country came.
Now do you see the country is updated everywhere?
Yeah.
Okay. So how about remaining everyone? You guys were able to see this?
I did it without uncheck. What will be the impact?
You can see here on the name country master dot country. It will appear like that.
Okay. Okay. Got it.
It will be like a very big name, country master dot country.
What is the solution now?
No, you can just leave it. Or okay, what is the solution if you want to get rid of it? Do you see
Yeah.
that there is a settings button next to the expanded country master?
Yes.
Yes.
Double click on that and you should see the option here, default name prefix. It should be with country master or whatever. You need to remove this. That's it. And click on OK.
Sorry, I'm not able to see. I can, what action I need to perform again, please?
Share your screen. Let me see.
Yes. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, I'm able to. So no, right click, no, on the applied step, you see the last step, which is expanded country master.
This one, right?
Under the applied step. On your right
This
hand side,
one.
there is applied step. On your right hand side, there is applied steps under the query settings.
Okay. This one.
Below that.
Okay.
The last option, expanded country master, right? There is a
Okay.
settings button over there next to the expanded country master.
Yes. Yes.
Double click on that. You need to remove the country master name on the below last. Click OK.
Thank you.
That's it.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yes.
Good. So let me share my screen back. All right. Okay. So let me ask you, how many of you understood this VLOOKUP or this merge query? How you are able to do it?
It is very easy to do. But I just want to understand. Suppose there is one mismatch, or one of the country code is not coming. Then what will be the impact?
It will be empty.
Oh,
Okay.
It will just show empty. And that's what you see again, the color here, okay? The color here indicates the brown color, which means there is an empty row.
Okay, got it.
And not only here, when you are doing the merge query, you remember the step that I have told you that, on this window, you will see that there is a match statement
Yes.
came, right?
Yeah,
Even that will
10550 was matching with
that is also one of the
10550.
indicator.
Right.
All right, very good. So I believe most of you or everyone are able to understand this VLOOKUP now.
Right. Suppose I just want to change the name without changing the code. If I will update the country code, it will auto update or what?
I mean, give me an example again, any scenario.
Yeah, so it is coming Philippines, right? So instead of Philippines, I just want to show PH. Instead of Philippines, I just want to write PH. If I will update this in the country master, auto update will come in consolidated, or we have to perform some task.
Okay, so in that case, you need to change this data on the original data, which is country master. So even here, you cannot do any changes.
Okay. So
Reason being,
Mhm.
you are loading this from your Excel file, correct?
Right.
What you need to do, if you change anything on the Excel file and click on save and come here and refresh, it will automatically update. And
Okay.
once it is updated, this will automatically update the consolidated table as well.
Got it.
One single change will update everywhere.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Right. Okay, there is a question by Suchitra. If there is a space in spelling or cap letter, does this work? Uh, no, it doesn't work, Suchitra, because as I told you, this is case sensitive. So what you need to do, for example, in case just you feel that the data, there could be some spaces or anything, then what you need to do, you will perform the trim formula activity. Like how you use the trim formula, you can perform the trim activity. Like how you can perform the trim. Either you want, let's say, for example, in the country, no, on the country code, there is a space you believe. So you're going to select this. Okay. And this time what you can do is the command will be Alt T and Alt T, and what will you do? Split form. Okay. FO, which is format. In that you can use the trim formula. I'll give you this on the command here. Alt T FO. And then trim. Based using this trim, your data will also get automatically trimmed, and then again it will set right. Hope it clears. All right. Okay. Now, if we are good with this activity, now let's look at this one. Go to the KPI table, go to the KPI table and go to the consolidated table now. Now look at in the consolidated table and look on the KPI table and tell me which is common in between these.
Restaurant ID, I think.
Very good. So restaurant ID is common. Now, how many columns are there in KPI?
It's 10.
There are 10 columns in the KPI, right?
Yeah.
So
Right.
if you remove the common column between the KPI and consolidated table, so how many columns that we are going to add or import from the KPI table into the consolidated table?
2.
2.
Sorry, come again. Your question is?
In KPI, there are 9 columns, correct?
Oh,
No,
10
10.
columns.
So in KPI table, there are,
10 columns.
sorry,
Columns.
there are 10 columns. Okay. So, okay, if you remove the common column, which is restaurant ID from the restaurant ID from the KPI and consolidated table, how many remaining columns can I import from the KPI table into consolidated table? Suchitra says 11.
9.
9, 9,
Uh, 9,
9.
correct?
Correct.
That's good. So this is
I
a
don't
simple
get
math
you.
calculation.
Wait, Lakshmi, I don't get you.
Who is it?
Anirudh, yeah.
Anirudh. Okay. How many columns do you have in KPA?
10.
Right. So how many columns are common between KPA and consolidated table?
Uh,
One is restaurant, second is I think age on date is coming something.
I think date,
As on date, okay?
as on date, and restaurant
Okay.
ID, and another one is. um, yeah,
ठीक है
this,
Suchitra, you can listen now.
yeah, these
So
two only.
how many are there in common?
Two.
2.
Two table,
Two.
two columns, right?
Mhm.
So if I want to import, all the table, all the columns data from KPI table into consolidated table,
Mhm.
how many columns I can import, excluding these two, which are common?
8.
8 columns, correct?
Yeah, 8.
Right. Sunil says 2. No, Sunil says 8 again. Yes. Suchitra, now you understood? Good. What I want you guys to do is very simple. Using this merge query activity, what you have learned, okay, I want you to import all the columns from KPI into the consolidated table,
Okay.
apart from those two which are common.
Okay.
मतलब वो दो columns छोड़ के बाकी columns को import करना है.
Okay. Okay.
So do this activity, and
Yeah.
once you do this activity, so right now in consolidated you have got 12 columns, okay? So if you do this activity, in total how many columns will be there in consolidated now?
22.
How come 22?
It's 20.
It is 12. 12 only. 12 only.
12. Basically, how many columns you are going to import?
10. Sorry, 8, 8, 8.
It's
8.
8. So total 20.
8 columns
20,
you're going to
20.
import.
20, 20.
Right. It is 20 columns. The
20.
consolidated table will have 20, correct?
20. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Good. So go ahead and then import all those 8 columns and then tell me once you are good with it.
Okay.
I just want to check if the restaurant code is coming up. It is not a repetitive number. How can I ensure it?
Consolidated. Okay. Restaurant ID is not a repetitive number. Okay. There are no duplicates over there.
Yes. So how can I understand this from this data?
Okay. You want to understand there are no duplicates over in the data.
Yes, yes.
Okay. So for that, there is a methodology. If you want to follow that, there is a methodology, but
Okay.
it's a simple method and then you can delete it again. Where you want to find if there are duplicates or not.
In the consolidated part, I want to see.
Correct. Now
Yes.
I'll tell you a simple way. If there is a duplicate, okay, if there is a duplicate, ideally, when you do the merge query, it will not allow you to do it first on the first note.
But I did merge on the basis of, I think, country code, and it is restaurant.
Okay, let's do it this way then. See, which table you want to find the duplicates?
Consolidated.
Consolidated, right? Um, do you see there is an option here on the home tab under the transform group? There is an option called group,
Yes, yes.
or you can also do it this way: Alt H
It's
G.
okay. Shortcuts is not much required.
Okay, then you see this restaurant ID, right?
Yes, yes.
Click on OK. Now, do you see there is a group ID created, right? When you click on the count,
Hmm.
apart from this one, if you see anything else, those are duplicates.
I got it.
Okay,
Okay. Thank you.
right. Now remove this grouped rows. Otherwise, around you are not going to get any solution. So remove this grouped rows.
Okay.
And now perform the merge activity now.
Mhm.
So should I select the consolidated one, then perform the merge activity,
Yeah,
right?
because you are going to add the data into consolidated, correct? So you're
Correct.
going
Yeah.
to select the consolidate and then perform the merge query.
Yeah. Now in the KPIs, I need to remove this restaurant ID. How do I remove this one?
Now, why do you have to remove it?
But it's same, no?
No, in the merge query, okay. See, in the consolidated, I'm going to import the data from KPI to consolidated, correct?
Correct.
So I'm going to select the consolidate and then click on the merge query.
Yeah, that I've done. Yeah.
Now on the top is the consolidated and below table, I need to select the KPI.
Yeah.
I'm selecting the restaurant ID and restaurant ID because these two are common.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And then now you click on OK. Now the KPI is attached to this particular table. I'm
But
going to
here,
select this. I'm going to select this and then just remove the restaurant ID and as on. I'm going to uncheck these two because I don't require these two and I need the remaining things. So I click on OK.
okay.
Now you should see that there are 20 columns right now.
One second. One second. Do it 1 second. That in consolidated, then where should I go? This is the column actually. Yeah. I got it like KPIs table that I got it.
Right.
And then okay, I need to remove the restaurant ID and as on table. Okay. Yeah.
Yes, because those two are common between these two
Yeah, I
tables,
got
right?
it.
I don't require them.
Now, yeah, I got it 20 columns. Yeah, got it. Yeah.
Yep.
It is automatically saving.
If it is automatically saving, fine. If not, just you can do a control S, but apply later, not apply. Click on apply
Uh,
later.
okay.
Okay, which two one we need to unselect restaurant ID and the another one
As on, we need to
as,
exclude.
as one. And there is a option called only use original column name
You
as
need to
prefix.
uncheck that. Yeah, you need to
Uncheck.
uncheck that.
Okay. Okay. Now the column is 20.
I have one query.
Yes.
Yeah, suppose they do data to different to different regions. Suppose one date is for the country when we have started the business, and second date maybe the restaurant when we have started the restaurant. Okay. So but the name is coming common. So we have to change the name first.
Um,
In the current situation, there is a two date age on, right?
right, right.
Yeah, assuming that both are the for the same purpose, then we have not included first one from KPI. We have not taken this, right?
Okay.
But suppose that they do two date for two different regions,
Hmm.
for two different data.
How do you differentiate? How do you add that?
Yeah, suppose I'm just giving example. Suppose
Yeah,
they,
exactly. I understood that.
yeah.
So you remember the step what I have told you when you're doing this merge query,
Hmm.
you see this default column name prefix, correct?
Yes.
Here you can add any column name onto the prefix and click on as on. So what will happen in the consolidated, the as on column will be as it is. But when it is adding the data from the KPI, it will add like KPI dot as on.
Okay.
That is when you will not able to see any problem. Otherwise around. Now, even if you add the as on, what is going to happen? It will mention as on one. Let's see this. Click on OK.
Okay.
You see when I go to the right hand side, do you see this as on that one?
Okay. Got it.
That is how it will work on.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Yep. All right. So Again, once again, let me ask, are you good on the power merge query now, everyone?
Yes.
Yes, I'm very comfortable.
Okay, very good. All right, so let's see your skills. Now tell me, what is common in between the USD converter and the consolidated table?
Country name.
Okay, country name. In the
Uh,
USD converter, between USD
uh,
converter and consolidated.
yeah, it is continent is there in the consolidated date. Yeah, so same is in
Yeah,
USB
continent. Okay.
continent. Yeah, continent and I think USD. Just a second, check. Yeah, only continent.
Okay, you see continent is the only thing which is common in between these, correct?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Suchitra says it is two. What are those two, Suchitra? Currency. Okay. She said currency and continent both are common in both the tables.
Where is the currency?
Check in the
I don't.
consolidated table, na?
Just a second. Currency. Yeah, currency name is there.
Yes, that's what. There is a currency,
Yeah,
correct?
yeah, currency is there. Yeah, true, correct. Yeah,
Okay, good.
yeah.
So now let me ask you this way. Suppose you say you have the same scenario in Excel, okay? And now you tell me before we do this, you tell me like, can we? I need to bring the two USD column from the USD converter. I need to bring the two USD column into the consolidated data. So if I want to bring using the merge query, will that work? So if I have to use the merge query, which options I need to choose?
Merge query is new.
Merge query as new. No, I don't want to use a merge query as new.
I didn't get your question. Please once again.
Okay. I need to bring the two USD column from the USD converter to the consolidated table. Now, using what method I need to bring in? Merge query, which I know. But in the merge query, so far we are using one of the columns, which is unique in nature. But here continent is unique or duplicated,
Unique. Duplicated. Sorry, duplicated.
correct?
Yeah.
So when you have a duplicated value, will you get your result properly?
No.
No.
Okay. Is there any other column which can be used for merge query, which doesn't have a duplicate and have only unique values?
I couldn't get you, Lakshmi.
See, when you have done the merge query earlier, you are
Mm-hmm.
using restaurant ID. Restaurant ID is duplicated or it is a unique,
Restaurant ID is unique.
correct?
In Excel also, we need the unique number.
Yeah, I mean, basically to perform the VLOOKUP, you need to have a unique number, correct?
Correct. Correct. Yes, you're right. Yeah.
Otherwise, around you're not going to get the result.
Yep. Yep.
So you say in the consolidated table, sorry, in the I mean the currency table or the USD converter,
Mhm.
continent is duplicated, currency is duplicated, or these are unique values.
Currency is unique.
Currency is unique.
No, that is also duplicated, but only the dollar is replicated,
Yeah, it
thrice.
is
So
duplicated. Yeah.
we
Yeah.
can remove duplicate and we
Yeah, it is duplicated. Yeah.
No, you cannot remove the data like that, right?
No,
See, dollar is something which can be used across different regions. So how
correct.
will you
Yes.
remove it?
Yeah, we cannot remove. Yeah. Yes. Based
Right.
on the continent, yet it is used actually. Yeah.
Okay. Samir says, okay, we can concatenate in both the sheets and then merge while you're doing it in the Excel. Do everyone agree to this?
Yeah, that can be one of the options.
Sorry?
I'm selecting.
What
Yeah.
Sameer say? Concatenate in both the sheets. Matlab, you need to concatenate continent and currency to create one unique value. And you should also do the same thing in the consolidated, like you need to create a, you need to merge or concatenate the continent and currency so that it creates a unique value in both the tables.
Yeah.
That
Then you
can
can
be
do a VLOOKUP, correct?
correct.
Yeah.
Is it right?
Good. But if you do it in this methodology of doing a concatenation, that is a long process.
True.
So let's see what we can do the best method. Now I'm going to the consolidated table again. Watch my screen for a minute. Do not do anything on your screen. Watch my screen. Once I perform the step completely, then you can do it. OK.
Yeah.
So I'm going to select the consolidated first. Again, use the same thing. Alt H E, which is merge query. And consolidated is OK. So I need to select which table below USD converter. OK.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to select the continent. OK, where is my continent? Continent is somewhere in between. So I'm going to select the continent. I'm going to select the continent here. OK, which is good. Now what I need to do is I need to hold the control button. I'm holding the control button, and then now I'm selecting, OK, the currency from the top table and select the currency from the second table. Now what is the difference that you identified here when I do this? Do you observe any difference over the screen?
Yeah. 1 and 2 it comes.
Right. So since I have selected 2 columns on the top, 2 columns on the below, the numbers indicate that which column is mapped to which column.
Yes. Yes.
Got it?
Yeah.
Now click on OK. This will add this will internally or backend, it will create a unique value. And based on that, I'm going to select. I don't require the continent and currency because they are already there. I only want the 2 USD dollar convert value. So when I click OK, I will get the proper result now where I can see that the 2 USD value is updated automatically.
Yeah.
Now you see how easy it is.
Correct. Yeah.
In Excel, we have to definitely do the merge query. So concatenate value in both the files. Otherwise around we will not get to the data.
True. Should we start applying that?
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, please go ahead. Apply, do it and then see.
Yeah. It's done.
What are you doing?
It's done. Now it is 21 column.
Good. So now everyone are able to do this. You understood like what we have done.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good. So can I request everyone to change this 2 USD column to whole number again, or no, not the whole number, to decimal number, please?
Yeah.
Change this to decimal number.
Yeah. Done it.
All right, that's good. So now what we have done, we have consolidated the data and then we have added the supporting files, and we also have added few more information onto the consolidated table. So with this methodology, you have learned how do you do a merge query, how do you do a append query, correct?
Yes.
All right. Now, in general, when I collected this information from all the different restaurants and then we brought the information, ideally what happened is, if you look at the data in the consolidated, there is a column called average cost for the two. Okay. Since average cost for the two has been deployed in their own currency, matlab in Philippines, the currency is Botswana, and in Singapore, it is dollar, and somewhere it is UAE, it is dirhams. So there are multiple currencies over here. So why did we bring the 2 USD value is to ensure, can we represent, all these values into one single, okay, let me, decimal number, okay. So can we represent all this or values convert into one single dollar, which one single format, which is dollar value, so that when we represent the data, it works in a better way, correct?
Yes. Yes.
That is
Yes.
the reason where we have added the conversion value. Okay.
Mm.
True.
You are getting null in the USD column. Okay. Maybe you might have done something. Okay. You're getting null in
There
the
may be
USD column.
mistake in, he may be the merger without pushing the control.
No. Okay. This is a good sample, classic example. In fact, I wanted to talk about this earlier, but I was just waiting for the situation. Is there any person who have the same problem like Suchitra? Okay, let's say no one have, only Suchitra have got this little issue. Now, I will give you 5 minutes for everyone. Okay, can you guys think and tell me what could have happened with Suchitra where she is not getting the value? Think about the whole process that you have started from the beginning, like loading the consolidated file, loading the continent files and doing right. Think about all the scenario of the situation and then give me an answer where she could have done a mistake.
Yeah, I think she might have done mistake in selecting the columns, right? Like the way did the concurrent. So put two columns and the bottom one, two columns.
Mm, no, no. Sorry, Nagesh, I lost you somewhere in between. Do you mind to
Okay.
repeat your answer?
Okay. She might have done mistake while selecting the two columns that we selected in the merging options, merging table. So where we did the concurrent of the two fields.
Okay. No, that is not the answer.
There are background noises there. I can hear properly. Sorry.
Oh, no, what Nagesh say that when she is performing the VLOOKUP or the merge query option, she might have done doing some selection, wrong selection.
But it's not related to USD, right?
So that's what I have told. No. So
Yeah.
that's the reason. Okay, let me ask Suchitra this way. I don't know if she's able to talk or not. Suchitra, you will you be able to talk rather than chatting? Okay. Or if you're listening, have you got values in some other places and only null value in everywhere? Okay, do one thing. Otherwise, around you can share your screen.
Yeah,
If
that's
you're not
better.
able to, you can share your screen. We can see. Share your screen. No, I understood. I got the 100% answer for why she is having this issue. I'm doing an. Oh, okay. She is doing another laptop. Okay. Okay, so she can't share the laptop, but can you just
Yeah,
think over
I'm
it?
audible.
Yes, you are audible.
Yeah.
No, you are able to see the places in, you're able to see the values in some place, but not in some other place, correct?
Yeah, someplace it is showing null value.
I'll tell you, I know the reason why it is showing it, but I wanted to make the others also understand the same scenario. This could be a scenario where you might come across that your colleagues might say that there could be a problem here. I am not able to see the value. Think the whole process from the beginning of the class, whatever I have told, all the steps, think about it
I
till
think
now and
I
tell me.
think the name should be proper. That's the problem, I think.
Where,
Yeah.
which name?
Name means these are a capital letter or small letter. I think that there is a problem. Maybe.
Very good. Very
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Very, very
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
That is how you need to start thinking. You know, where she
Yeah.
could might, where you might have done wrong, Suchitra.
So
So
maybe
name of the column.
Go to, no, no. Go to
no,
the,
no.
go to the Asia column, Asia table.
Okay. Okay.
In Asia table, if you go to the continent column,
Yeah.
the way you would have written Asia, A in the capital and then SIA in the small letter.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, now directly go to the NAM and SAM and then tell me, have you given capitals or small letters or used any proper case over there?
Maybe name or same. Maybe small letter. She might have put
Definitely.
NAM.
Ma'am and Sam.
Should be capital letter.
Yeah, it's same. I.
NAM is
And
capital.
Yeah, Nam is capital. Sam is also capital.
Okay, then check the
Oceania.
Europe and Oceania. Just check all
Oceania.
those.
Okay.
question is spelling.
See the continent and get the null in that same row. Then you will be able to find easily.
Yes, you
And
can filter
Lakshmi,
out that and you can also say.
one more thing actually, I might have thinking that this continent, instead of putting continent, if you do not change the name, then it will come in the header, Asia or the name of the country. That would be a problem. That just I have made a mistake in the
Yeah,
beginning.
I remember, but
Yeah.
that will actually hit that would have hit her badly in the initial stage when
Yes,
she
yes.
created the consolidated,
Correct. Yeah,
but
you're
not
right.
at this stage.
Yeah, that also possible. Yeah.
No, she will tell the answer. She should get the answer in a few minutes.
Actually, I checked everything. It's the same. Or
It is
maybe
the
I
same.
think. Yeah.
Definitely not possible. Okay, do one thing. Just do
Possibility
whatever I
you may
say.
have taken the space. You have given the space. Maybe.
Okay, can you check this table? When you filter on the 2 USD, filter out for null value.
Okay.
Just put a filter on the null value.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, move to the left hand side little bit and then look for the continent and tell me which continent you are able, and put a filter on the continent and tell me which are the continents that you are able to see over there.
Okay. Sam. Sam and
Only
Asia.
Sam and Asia. Right,
Yeah.
good. Now go to the Zomato Sam table and move to the right hand side and then check the continent. Do you see SAM capital or small or anything
No, it's caps only.
on the continent?
Yeah.
Okay,
And Asia also same.
okay. In the USD converter, do you see SAM and Asia is in different format? Or do you see anything here? You have done any extra steps over here?
No, same step as usual.
then it should definitely be okay. Then you might have done anything wrong on the merge query. Okay, on the consolidated table, okay, merge query 2. Double click on the merge query 2 step.
Merge query 2. Okay.
Now, do you see continent 1 and currency 2
Yeah, continent 1 and currency 2.
on the top as well?
Yeah.
Okay, but still you're not getting the value.
Mm, no.
Okay, my strong opinion is you would have done something wrong on the Zomato Asia and
Okay.
Zomato Sam. This is my strong opinion. You would have done something
Okay.
wrong on
What
this.
I will do, I will restructure it again. Numbers.
No, you don't need to redo that, but is there any possibility that you can share us the snapshot of the SAM continent?
Sure. Just give me a second. I will try.
Okay. How many total number of columns you are able to see on the consolidated now?
Just I will send you the photo.
Okay. Let's see. Send the photo with the header on the Asia and SAM. Okay. Okay, there is some pic. Let's see this. Okay, this is fine, which is currency 2 has table booking. Wait, much good expand much good. Okay. Okay, Suchitra, you know what went wrong?
Yes.
If you are consolidate on the consolidated table, you see there is an applied step here, right? The first thing is source.
Okay.
Basically, there should be 2 merged queries, but you have got 3 merged queries. Something you have done some mistake over here. And there is a filtered row. Filtered row, okay. Now I understand this is a filtered row. That is for sure. So you didn't get any answers for has online delivery or anything, which means ideally here somewhere went wrong. You see there are 3 merge queries. You see on my screen?
Yeah, it is 3 months. Yes, correct.
3 portions you are having 3 merged queries.
Okay. Okay.
I would request remove any one of the merged query and then just see. I think there is something you have done a little bit mistake here. Let me also see this.
Yeah, but 3 March queries also are we are having merge queries, merge query 1 and merge query 2.
Okay, very much. Oh, okay. This is also good.
Yeah.
Okay,
It is
can you go to the Asia table? Can you go to the Asia table? Or the better way, what you can do, I would suggest this way. Will you be able to share the file with us?
Yes, I can.
Okay,
So
what you need to do?
I think she's facing the problem in first merge query only because the screen is so no in that you see null is coming in the consolidated file only.
This
So
is
it
on the
seems
KPA
that
table. This is on
yeah
the KPA table, correct?
yeah in the consolidated because so she is not able to pick the 8 columns from the one of the things currency master
Yes,
something like that.
definitely. She would have done
Something
something wrong here only.
yeah merge one.
Asia, Africa, Europe, NAM, Oceania, SAM is okay. Country master KPI is okay. Consolidate is also okay. So
I deleted one merge query, but now it is showing this message. Sent it. Just now I sent the other.
It seems that you have done the mistake merge query 1, not merge query 2, because in merge query 1 consolidated data is coming, no, they are not getting the add data from the customer country master. So it is coming null, null, null in the consolidated only. So while you are applying the merge query 2, it is again null is coming again.
uh, remove that expanded USD converter as well. Merge query expanded country master KPI is okay. Oh, this is a by mistake from me. So will you be able to perform anything?
I'm sharing you the screen. I'm sharing you the file.
Okay,
Finally.
screen sharing, if it happens, that
No,
is
no,
much
no,
more
file,
better.
file.
File. Okay, you're sharing the file here. Okay. Then what I need to do is I need to save my file first and close the file. And then I also need to close this.
I think you need to change the name also, rename, because the name are same also, right? Day, this which one? Day one.
This is day one file. So this is day one file.
Sujitra is having a same one, right? That's why I'm ready.
No, no, that's fine. Let her give
That's
me the
fine.
file. Let her give me the file that we can do it.
Yeah, Prabhas, I have sent you in your mail ID. Can you just see?
Oh, you should send it in the email ID.
Okay, I'll send it across to Srikant.
Yeah, Prabhas. I don't have Srikanth mail ID. That's why.
Okay. I'll just put it here. This is the email ID.
Yeah, then please check.
Right. I got one file. Okay. Let me save the file. Let me share the screen. Okay. So you can also take this as some learning concept right now, what we are going to do. Okay. See, let's say Suchitra have shared the file with me right now currently. Okay. When Suchitra have shared the file, now I need to open the file. I'll open the file. But then the moment once I open the file, the very first thing it will give me is, it is not going to show me the results. There is a problem with, there will be a problem in that. What is the problem here? I'll show you the method and I'll also give you an solution to that.
Okay.
Okay, now I'm going to the transform data directly. The file has been loaded. I'm going to the transform data directly. Now, what could be the possible scenario for me that, all the files will be now saying they're not going to load the data? What could be the possible scenario?
That is not match with the tables. All tables.
No. Suchitra have shared the file with me, which is good. But what could be the situation why I could not able to open, when I open the file, I'm seeing some
Name
error
is
message here.
day1.
Path.
Good.
So I think path is the path, correct?
Right. The path is different because see,
Mm-hmm.
this could happen in your situation where, let's say, for example, Ajinkya is working on one of the file and then he shared the file, okay, along to Anirudh. So both of them have the same data set, but
Yeah.
Ajinkya, when he sent the file and gave it to Anirudh, Anirudh opened the file and then he found that it has not been working. It could be because of the path.
Okay.
So in this case, how do I update the path? You see under the home tab, there is a data source setting.
Yeah.
So I'll click on the data source setting. And you see all these files are not synced to my drive. It is synced to Suchitra's drive. Okay.
Correct. Yeah.
So I need to change the source for each one of them. So I cannot change all at one shot. So I need to go one by one. So I'll click on the change source and then update to my drive so that it will automatically update it. So what I do is I am going to just take up this path.
Oh, okay.
And click on OK. So now the Africa is updated. Okay, now you see exclamatory mark for everywhere, only apart from Africa.
Yeah.
Now it is on the top Asia. So I'm going to change the data for Asia. Now you see there is an exclamatory mark already here, but now I'm going to change this. When I click on OK, now do you see Asia is automatically updated?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Now this is the way when you receive a file from someone else where you also have the same data source, but then your path is different. So you need to be little careful to change your path so that everything gets updated. This is how you can do it.
It seems like edit option is coming in Excel.
Right.
Edit link.
Edit link. Good. Very good. Very good. Edit link. Let's say it just takes around less time for us to do it.
It is a good learning for us anyway.
Yeah.
So all the paths we need to change individually, right? Lakshmi? I know there.
Yep.
Okay.
See, this way it becomes easy for me that I need to change path only for these tables alone. Correct?
Yeah.
I don't need to touch base the output. Right. Now you see everything is changed.
Yeah.
Now I click close. Now I click on data refresh preview.
Yeah.
Now, did I get the data?
Yeah, now it comes. Yeah.
I can see the data everywhere.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get into the trouble. Continent, Asia. Okay. Sam, continent is also fine. Let's start with the data source. At the source, initially it is 12 column. You see here, Suchitra?
Yes.
You see this this point, Suchitra?
Yes. Well,
On the source itself, there is a problem.
There should be 11 columns.
We have a 11 column actually.
Right.
We should have 11 columns, but she has 12 columns. You see, there is a
This
test
is
column
one.
added.
Yeah, this column added. Yeah.
Okay, Europe. See, I'm looking at the formula bar directly and then seeing if there is any space or anything has been added. So looks like everything is okay. Country master. Let's see what country master. Continent. This is also okay. Change type. You see, type is on the date. Date is okay, fine.
Yeah.
So let's start troubleshooting from here. Source, it is 11 column. Now it is fixed in. Okay, let me see the merge query, what she have done here. Okay, the country code and country code. Okay. Then she must have got the country names. Fine. Merge query, which is this one. This is restaurant ID. Um, Suchitra, this is what you have done.
Yeah, this is wrong actually. She has selected as on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
It
let's
should
see the. Now she should have the data. Now you see you have the data.
be.
yeah, yeah. Got it.
So here on the merge query, what
Also,
I do is I need to
SLM
use
ID
the
and currency.
unique currency.
KPI. Actually, that's convert. Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm. Now you see you got the values everywhere.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So what you need to do on your laptop, the other laptop where you are working,
Uh-huh.
first thing, remove the last step. Remove the last step, which is filtered row. Okay.
Also,
Then go to the merged queries one. Okay. In this portion, go to the merged query one and double click on this merged query one.
okay.
Here you will see restaurant ID with 2.
Yeah, the one is.
Go to the right hand side and then select,
Uh-huh.
hold the control button and deselect the as on. And similarly, even down, go to the last, hold the control button and deselect the as on. If you do this, you should only see the restaurant ID selected in both the tables.
Okay.
Correct?
Yeah, done.
Now click on OK.
Mm-hmm.
It should be loading. Okay.
Yeah.
Then go to the next step, which is expanded KPI. Okay.
Okay.
Below merged query, expanded KPI. Okay.
Yeah.
Now select this expanded KPI and then click on the merged query on the top. Like click on the merged query directly. When you click on the merge query, it should give you an alert like this insert step.
I didn't got this insert step. Are you want to insert?
Okay, below expanded KPI, what do you see?
Expanded USD converter.
Exactly. So you need to select the expanded KPI. Select expanded KPI step.
Okay.
Sorry.
But I'm getting expand KPI, the selection will drop down. The restaurant ID, average cost, photo, like
Drop
this.
down. Can you repeat that? I didn't understand what you said.
I've sent you the screenshot. This I'm getting, not the.
No, no. I said like, okay, click on cancel. You should not double click on that. You should select it. Don't
Okay.
double click, just select it. Okay.
Uh-huh.
When it is in the selection mode, now click on the merge queries on the top.
Okay.
When you click on the merge query, it should ask you insert step.
Yeah. Then.
Right. Now click on insert, that it will give you this window, merged queries too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Move to the right hand side and then select continent to continent first. Then hold the control button and then select currency to currency. And then click on OK.
Yeah. Done.
Sorry. So now if you do it, go to the next step, which is expanded USD converter. And then you should see all the values coming up. There shouldn't be any null value.
Yeah, it's coming now.
Right now it is
Yeah.
sorted out.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you.
No problem. Welcome. All right. So we'll wrap up the session, and then before we wrap up, let's just go ahead and then look. So far what you have learned is how you are going to load all the Excel files from the local drive to Power Query. And after loading it to the Power Query, you perform the steps like how do you add a column, and also you witnessed how do you consolidate them, and how do you do a merge query. And along with that, you also did see how you can able to do the merge query, multi merge query. And you did see how do you remove the duplicates, how do you remove the arrays, I mean empty rows, and how do you sort the data, do a sorting and multi-sorting. And you also did see on the options on the Power Query window, like how you can able to see the query settings, applied steps, formula bar, how you can see the total number of data set at one shot or profiling based on 1,000 rows. And you also understood like what does this green color and brown color indicates. So these are the steps that we have understood so far. So
Yeah.
tomorrow what we are going to, I mean, the next session, what we are going to learn is with this data, how we are going to see the model, how the model is going to work. That's the first thing, how the model works. And you will also understand the cardinality, the connectivity between all the tables. And once this is understandable, then we look into the data and start doing some little bit of tax formulas. That is what we're going to learn on the next session. Okay. So, and also I mean, I have given you the presentation about like the Power BI, the functionalities, like what are the different kinds of Power BI we have, what is that we can do, right? So this is what we have learned so far. Now, any questions from anyone before we wind up?
Uh, are you going to give some material for practice or some task to do?
Um, as of now, there is nothing, but you can actually do the same practice.
Okay.
Maybe you can create one more folder for the data set. You can make a duplicate data set folder, and
Mhm.
probably you can just redo the same portion. And if you have done the same portion, probably then your results should match the same way.
Right.